Hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully well. Today, I did have Peek up in the background, and then as soon as I switched over, it crashed. So we're off to a wonderful start. But how are y'all? We have still a couple minutes before we hop in. If anyone wants to say hi, I find it really funny on this screen where it looks like a speech bubble talking about the new plush for what's his name? Bing Bong. It says right there. Duh. Yeah. And so I guess they saw all the VTubers playing it, and so they're just like, what if we just granted, I think it's for the crab. Hold on. Nope. Wrong one. Let's grab Mama Dodo. One of these days I have to show y'all my OBS and how complicated it is now, because we need to go through and change it. See, look at that. It's from the crab. I still find it really funny though. Actually, hold on. I think it might be... Ooh, yeah. I was having issues with my mouse because I'm currently on a table and the table has cracks in it. So if I move this a little bit... Now, I did bring my mouse pad. Haha! Now it should be working just fine. But it looks like y'all are still coming in. Let's see if anyone is in the Discord already. Ooh, it is. They are. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and head in then. I think everything is good to go. So, let's stop by and say hi to everybody.
It's on my live.
Hello.
What the hell?
Me with, with the
what?
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Boop.
And immediately leave.
About that. You don't need to worry about what just happened. It is one of those times where, because I have my personal Discord and then like my streamer Discord up at the same time in different ones.
Fair.
So I joined in with the other one, and that one is from a browser where it doesn't seem to get any of the inputs.
Hit myself with it.
Bappi knows exactly this problem because we tried to collab one time and then I couldn't hear him, so then he had to go to a different account for me, and yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. How are y'all?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Markiplier.
The Markiplier?
Whoa!
Whoa!
We're collabing with Markiplier today, guys. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I would have dressed better. Damn. All right.
Big thing to
We had to
pull out
dress?
the
It's like y'all wearing
You
clothes.
guys are dressed? Oh my god. I am
That's what I'm
wearing the
saying.
opposite of clothes right now.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
sweat through everything.
Listen, any VTubers
Yeah.
wearing appropriate clothing is not a real VTuber. All right, I'm just saying that right now.
No,
What
no,
is the,
no. We love our clothes, Babs. We love all.
You're power stream me.
You can't hold me back.
Something, all right.
I'm dressed for Halloween. I don't know what you're
That's the
talking
sound
about.
he makes when he hits you. Bing bong.
So
No,
just
you
a
don't.
single bed sheet with eyes like cut out.
As I should.
Okay, just making sure.
I did send everyone a
sunglasses.
invite
have to
on
shrink.
Twitch. If you are streaming, oops, hold on. If you are streaming, you should have a little notification for shared chat. And then I'm going to be sending everyone their invites right now for Peek. And
Let's
then
go.
After that, we're gonna mute, or actually, you're going to deafen, or what is it? What did we do yesterday?
Turn
You
output to
increase your
zero.
input.
Yeah.
Output to zero,
Output.
yes, because then we're gonna only have our words in Peek. I do have little foogies for everyone on my stream. I don't know if anyone else is using foogies, but if not, you can just mute yourself. So let's go ahead. We got one.
Oh, I actually did
Two.
something funny with my Fugi. You want me to show y'all?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Did it not change?
Yeah.
Oh, not yet. Everyone's
not
just
yet.
loaded into lobby.
Oh damn.
Anyone that needs the link, it's in collab chat.
Start live and join the shared
Ah.
chat.
Okay, and then real quick, I'm gonna tab out just for a moment, and I'm gonna
Output to 0.
output to
Yeah.
0.
Look at you already looking at the mirror.
No, I'm tabbed out because I'm trying to
Classic.
silence Discord.
Put to 0.
I'm trying.
Output to 0? Like output device to 0?
User settings
Yes,
on Discord.
output device to 0.
Output volume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll switch to that.
Oh, I don't hear you in game.
Yep.
And then I think we got everyone.
Is that my mic?
It's
Who
funny
we got,
because
who we
you're
got, who we
leaning
got?
on my screen.
Hey, hi
Can you
guys.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Am I the
Did
only
you
one
send
not
me an
there when
invite
game?
yet?
Oh, I think so.
Can you talk? Hello, my friend.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Bappi.
I don't know if I'm in the
Rest in
shared
peace.
Wait, do you guys hear me in game?
R.I.P.
I hear you in
Hello,
there,
feel
but
like
I
my little
don't see an invite.
I-
Oh, let me look. Let me look. Hold on. I gotta
I
tab
don't
out
hear
again.
anyone in game. I don't know why.
Let me see your Fuki. Yes, I do. Oh, he's such a little guy. That's you.
Little guy.
That is you. That's what you look like in my brain.
Mhm.
Why did the invitation not do anything?
I'm gonna real quick pop it back into Discord to see how they're doing. See if anyone needs help.
I'm going to
I don't know.
fix some stuff.
Hello, my Discord babs. Are we doing okay?
I didn't.
I don't hear anyone in game.
Mine decided it didn't send me over. I clicked like join it. I'm still alright.
That's weird.
I'm not seeing an invite.
For
that's
Peak
even
or Twitch?
Peak.
Which one are we talking about?
This
is
is
that for both
Twitch.
of you?
Oh, there we go. Now it's working.
I
I
have.
well,
sent
I
two
wanna
invites.
Twitch.
I said a separate one specifically
Idealist
for
is on
shared
the
chat,
Twitch
and
call.
then there's
Yes.
another one specifically for Peak. So you need a Peak invite again?
Yes.
Yes.
Just Idealist? Oh, Idealist and Dark. Okay.
Yes.
Let
Oh,
me-
and me. I didn't get the shared
Yes.
chat.
There we go. You were
and-
invisible on my screen.
I don't need the shared
know.
chat.
I think that's what happened.
Damn.
There we go.
Damn.
Oh, I forgot to go on. I forgot I was invisible. Okay.
Oh,
and then I will
oh
send
my God,
One
oh.
more shared chat.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
I will
it's
probably
probably
Why?
not the game this time.
I don't hear
No, it
anyone
doesn't matter if
in
it
game.
works.
Oh, there we
I
go.
don't know why.
Can
Shared
y'all
chat.
hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in game. Cool. That's all.
Let's go.
I'm
Oh,
happy, so-
Bappi just left the expedition. All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Bappi left.
Classic Bappi.
No. That's just that I don't hear anyone.
What's the new colors? All the colors.
You might, Bappi, have to leave and then come back.
If- You sent me the shared one.
I
didn't
just
get
sent it to you again, Aelarion, and it says the invite is still pending. So you might have to refresh.
Is anybody still
Fine.
on Discord that could maybe help me?
I am on
Uh,
Discord, yes.
I'm
okay,
also on Discord.
I cannot hear anybody in the game. at
In the
all.
game.
I have the same problem.
What is your?
Make sure every
Go ahead.
we updated all of the mods. Are all the mods up to date? Are we sure
Wait,
about that?
I didn't update any. I just left it as is.
Yeah,
I can
It should
restart.
be?
I think there is nothing to update. Like,
I don't
Okay,
know. This
is
game's
that-
always been weird about modded.
Mm-hmm. How's your audio
It works for the
settings in
most
game?
part, and
Is
then
everything on the correct
Some
thing?
things break.
Voice volume's at max. I'm
Okay,
on push to mute.
Okay.
I could turn up the master volume, but nothing seems to be happening.
But the
I'm good now.
microphone and everything is the correct one though.
Yeah, it's the
Still don't know how to
correct
set up the
mic,
Fugi
but
stuff,
I
so I'll do
can't.
that later.
I don't know if I can change what.
The Fugi's pretty easy. In the
'cause
collab,
the game's coming through the
like VC
correct.
chat, there's a link. You just click that.
But it's
and
just the
then
voices that's
when
not coming
you
through for
open
you.
the website, it just
Yeah,
gives.
it's the
You just have
voices
to
aren't
log
coming
in with
through.
Discord.
If you
and then
if,
it gives you
if
like
it's just on the
options to,
pause
like,
menu on the
change,
upper right, are we at 100%?
Yeah,
what
but
your
like putting it
to
on
reactives.
the.
On like your stream.
Everybody's
or-
at 100. Yeah.
I probably
Nobody's
know how to
mouths
do
are
that. It's just
moving.
it's gonna take a while.
wait,
so
hold
I
on.
don't-
In Peak.
I don't want to like. switch
Yeah,
Actually-
nobody's
it.
mouth is moving in peak.
I was gonna
Can
say
someone
that I
tell
cannot
a
help
lot
with.
to
I
actually
don't know anything
park
about
in the
stream.
game?
Actually,
Hold
fine.
on.
let me
I think
mute
we're-
Discord. I might not also
Ranikki,
hear.
Let
I don't know
me, do you
voice
hear me at all in
in
game?
Let's see here. Oh yeah, no.
Will you leave and I'll resend you the invite and we'll see maybe if it's just a little bug.
Oh
'Cause
no,
I know
I
Bappi
also
had the same
can't.
problem. Okay,
I-
hell yeah, she's
I
on
also-
it. I fucking love her.
Ella, can
I-
you invite me back in the game?
Send it again to
I will start in my
Ranikki.
I might
Did you
also do the
invite
same
Bappi
thing because
back?
it turns out I also cannot
I'm
hear.
gonna invite Bappi back. Thank you.
Can you hear us? Can you hear
I wonder
us?
if she's pushed to
No.
talk.
I can.
No, she still can't hear us. Retro.
She can't hear us.
Can you hear me? Like,
Oh,
you hear
the
my mic
master
coming
volume
through?
was at 0 in game.
That would do it.
Okay. Ranikki, it sounds like to restart might be the best option right
I will go and fully leave the game then.
now. Okay, sorry,
I
Bab.
did
Thank
restart
you.
my world game.
I
and
will
it
do the
worked,
same thing.
So that's cool. Yay!
It's not a stream without some scuff, guys. That's just how
Yep.
it is.
Especially when there's all these
Honestly-
people.
Mhm. It's a big
Oh, I
stream,
was
it's a bunch of
fucking muted. I know
bots.
the issue. Honey, go to your audio.
There's Dark.
Okay, I've just restarted the game, so if it
Where was
isn't
I
working,
muted that
All
whole time? What
this-
happened? I didn't even press it.
Oh.
I don't
No
know.
eyes.
I thought you
Look at
were
you.
getting some stuff set for your stream.
Nope,
Hi,
I'm not going live
Maui.
until this is
Hi, Clown.
looking a little more
I always
resolved.
forget that people like
Yeah.
follow my Twitch account, even though I've never once talked about wanting to stream, and people
Hang on,
still
I'm
know.
loading
Yeah.
the game.
You hang out with streamers.
So popular
Yeah,
before you
that's
even
all the
popular.
streaming I need.
Exactly.
Hold on, I gotta. I'm waiting for.
I was muted the whole fucking time, and I was
I
like,
was
I
say,
know
why
the issue,
stream
but
when I can
everybody
just hang
kept
out with
going.
my streamer friends?
Yeah,
No,
we
we
were
just
muted,
born
so we
up.
didn't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You thought you were being ignored. Instead, you were just silenced.
That's
I
always be the case,
silenced
though.
myself.
Oh,
Okay, I can take an invite now,
go over
Ella.
here. Okay,
I
I
can
got you, boo.
I can also do an invite if you do not mind.
Your voice's
See-
volume, mine was up 0.01. That's why I couldn't hear anybody. I turned it back up, and now it's fine. I'm going to assume that one day we had to turn off the voices for whatever reason,
What
and it
the
broke, and it isn't a bug.
Hello?
You just turned it down.
Oh, I can
Hi.
hear everybody now.
Yeah, we
I
did
think I was
it.
fine.
yay!
But
Okay,
I,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I did
Discord.
have it lowered earlier though, honey, but it still wasn't working.
No, no one's
Alright, I'll
voice
put
is
volume
coming through
down.
again. You were the only voice coming
So
through
then,
for me.
who?
Really? Can you not hear anybody right now?
Idealist.
Dark might be having the same problem you did. Might have
Yeah.
to full restart. Yeah, I'll send him
Yeah.
an invite once he's.
The full restart helped.
Because that
Yeah, I
helped
got
Do
Bappi.
you-
It might just be. I know there's like a new update too to peak.
Yeah, there's a hot
Good,
fix.
Do you hear us now, Ranikki?
Dark is not on.
What was that, Bappi?
Do you hear us? Yeah, I think you did.
Yes, I hear. I hear.
Please,
Yay.
I'm not going to use the X level on 12
over here.
Fun
Just
fact
to
of the day:
hear.
if you hit X, it ragdolls.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
then
like- thank God, that's so
this
much
invite,
better.
here.
And then we're
And
gonna
this one
add
like play death.
Dark again.
No, it's not the same.
But
And
yeah,
then...
but it's even better because you can like run, jump, and ragdoll, and you just ragdoll in the air.
That's it's so
Nice.
much nicer. And I have to
Also, where
hold
was the
R and then
link
pull
for
your
the
mouse down.
Fugi Reacts thing again? To join everyone's? Sorry.
I can play chess.
Oh,
I
just
can send you the link.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Any luck this time, Dark?
I heard one person.
Uh-oh.
I need everybody to talk.
He's still
Hello.
I heard
Hello.
Ranikki.
But I'm not in, so.
I'm on push to
You'd
talk.
be
Don't worry
weird.
about that. I
Dark,
just want to hear
dark.
everybody's voices.
We're trying to get
Oh.
Dark in game, and then we'll
Yeah.
figure out Fuki.
Did Dark like fully reset their game?
No, I hear.
When they opened
Am
it
I
to
here?
mods?
Hello?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
we
it.
can hear you.
I'm on push to talk. Don't worry about my voice.
only on
I just wanna
Discord,
know
not in
everybody's
game.
talking.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
push to talk. He's on
In
push to
game's
talk.
working. Yeah, it's fine.
Yep, he's all good.
Oh, because I'm staring at
Oh.
Bappi. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
And now I do voice activation, and now it's working. Cool.
you're
Yay.
both Bappi, my name. Okay, yay, we did it. Okay, then
Yeah.
what did you
Okay.
need for Fugies?
How the
Wait.
Aelarion?
did that?
Okay, I'm gonna turn down the
Um,
output.
Well, that's the library. Like, is there like a thing where I can like
Echo.
connect with everyone?
Wait, did you take
For Fuki?
They changed it, so I'm not
are you doing?
quite sure.
The volume. I needed
What?
your Discord. Hold on.
What did
I'll
don't
set
know
it up
what
later.
button.
If you, I have mine up, but I don't know how to do it.
Hold on. You go
Oh,
really
it's the
close to
source
the player,
browser
and
I
then
need to
input
think-
thing.
to try something, don't
I
move.
can teach you how to do it after stream too if you want. It's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of,
yeah.
it's a small setup, but
worry.
it still takes.
Oh,
a second.
okay.
Oh,
I see
no.
you guys
I'm
now.
worried.
Yeah.
I don't think that's working.
Wait, what?
No.
Okay, I think we're just
worried.
missing Idealist right now, right?
Yeah.
I think.
What the hell are you
No,
doing to me?
Did it not
What is
go through
happening?
again?
I don't like this
Bappi.
angle.
Bappi, are you joining the harem? Are we up to 4 now?
I trust
God
that
damn.
I know
Romance.
somebody below.
Yeah.
I'm
Bappi
doing
be
a
sniffing
romance
toes.
with Jack.
Oh,
What do you mean?
hello.
Bappi's sniffing toes.
There we go. I can hear y'all now. Let's go now to do the output
Yeah.
nonsense.
Come to the mirror. Come to
Do
the
you
mirror.
want to join the romance?
Alright, now I'm gonna go live.
Okay.
The issues are resolved. Let's go.
Okay.
The only
Yay.
issue that's
I'm gonna
not
have to
resolved
figure
is
out
my
how
everything's
mouse.
working.
Because it will never be resolved.
I can hear things.
Wait.
I do
Hear
this.
us?
Hello.
Purple,
Purple, purple, purple, purple.
Wait, Ranikki.
Oh yeah, do you?
Purple, purple.
Get over here. Purple. Purple. Purple.
And eyes. Purple.
Purple.
Wait, how did you
Yeah,
change
yeah,
that
yeah,
again?
yeah.
Oh,
I have
pal.
old man eyes.
Yep.
I have the wrinkles.
Oh.
I love it. I'm secretly a vampire.
Oh yeah, I see.
Secretly, huh?
Secretly.
Smile.
I'm gonna-
You
I
have
also
you
have
have you have you're bearing your fangs. What do you mean secretly?
I'm always doing that. Yeah,
Uh.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, we're hugging.
Yay. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I did not look at any of these mods, so I'm excited to see what.
Oh,
Great.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, same.
Eyes is the one that gave me these, and they
Yes.
are amazing. Eyes is great.
Hey, Marble.
Let me real quick.
So for the important ones you need to know, if you hit X, you ragdoll.
Okay.
If you hit T once, it opens a chat menu. If you hit it again, it gives you an indicator where people are. If you
Oh, wait,
start
let's
an
make sure everyone's
emote.
What's
listening.
this?
Wait, come here.
Mhm.
Coming
come
from
here,
left
we're
field,
explaining how the
swish!
mods work.
Yeah.
Come here. We're explaining mods.
Ew,
We're
woo.
explaining
Mods. Mods.
Honey, you gotta come over.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure my audio is okay.
Don't care. Come on, you gotta hear what the
How
message
dare
is.
you?
So
Okay.
chaotic.
Hi, Emmy.
I'm sorry, I
Sarah,
needed the
trying
leg
to
up.
make a streamer.
I need.
This guy.
Okay.
Wait.
What the fuck?
Okay,
Wow, that's fucked up.
He's gonna explain real quick how mods work for what we're doing.
So
Yeah.
basically, the only mods you really need to know is if you hit
Mhm.
X, it ragdolls. If you hit T once, it opens a text chat. If you hit it again, it'll give you an indicator of how far everyone is. If you start an emote, you don't stop until you move, or you start another one. In the chance that we all go unconscious, you can still talk.
Ooh. Okay.
For the people that end up dying, you can point. There's like a little pointing, which is pretty fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
The bugle plays random music.
Yes,
Mhm.
it does.
When we get backpacks, you just have to hit 4 instead of like dropping it.
Oh,
It's
that's
a lot
nice.
easier now.
It's so nice.
Oh.
The 2 last ones that are fun. So you know how coconuts can bonk if you throw them?
Mhm.
That's applied to every item now.
Oh.
Oh, W.
What?
And-
Hell yeah.
As dark by dark.
Yeah, and the jellyfish were tweaked a little.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Interesting.
A little.
Yep.
And then there's also a
little.
special item that I left in.
There's
that
2.
you put
Yeah.
last time.
Interesting.
So yeah, and then the rest of the stuff you'll find.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And
Thank
then
you for the
real quick,
rundown.
Just as a streamer, just so everyone's aware, can you just say who you are, what your Twitch handle is,
Oh, yeah.
and then what you like to normally stream, and we're gonna do it kind of quick.
Swish!
Oh.
We're gonna
Swish
start-
and flick.
We're gonna start with Bappi.
Yeah. Oh. I.
Oh,
You're doing great.
I-
You're great.
Yeah.
You volunteered
I'm-
yourself to be next.
I'm an
Yeah.
axolotl VTuber. I'm doing gaming and
Stop.
stuff. Hey!
Okay.
We are getting shots!
For real.
At the end of
I go down.
every intro, we just launch stuff at him.
Yeah.
Yay!
Everyone grab an item, and as soon as he's done, we all just.
That's
do
Bappi.
So, yeah. I'm
Bappi.
a little axolotl. Yellow axolotl. Yeah. I like yellow.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing some gaming and some software development and hanging out with friends. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hey, let's go.
Alright. Aelarion.
Hi. I'm Aelarion. I don't know what I like to play. I just play whatever the hell I feel like it most of the time.
Hell yeah.
pardon my language. I've been
Oh, we curse.
addicted to
No.
Battlefield right now, so I might stream that. I used to do Rivals. I might come back to it, but I was manipulated by someone here to play a horror game. And I'm not a horror game guy. I can't do horror, so I have a heart rate monitor and everything, and yeah, so it's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Ranikki!
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, hello. My name is Ranikki Sunshine. I am an astral space elf VTuber that travels the multiverse exploring video games. I am a variety streamer. Currently for Spooky Month, I am also part vampire.
Astariana.
I got a biter.
I'm a Stariana. I need to give myself the white hair one of these days.
Hell
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm chaotic. I'm chaos.
Yeah!
Heh.
And we got
I'm being bullied.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm autistic.
Everyone
Oh,
look at him. Point and left.
This right here is like when I was 6 years old in school and we're all in a line, just like
No! We're
everybody
lifting you up!
introduce yourself. Can I-
Tell
hold
us
on,
a fun
before I-
fact.
Before I do it, can I hit myself with it? Oh,
No.
I can't. Unfortunate. Okay,
Tell us a
oh,
fun
alright,
fact.
Fun fact.
Alright, fun fact.
Fun
I'm
fact,
actually
fun
a second degree Taekwondo black belt. There you go.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
that's
for
so
real?
cool.
That is true.
Okay, I don't have to show off like that, bro. What the hell?
No, let it
And
let
with
the
Damn.
that in
let
mind, I am double.
I was only a
Yeah,
first degree
I'm
black
jealous
belt.
of
What
you.
the hell? Damn. Like,
What?
Damn. What do you like to
Your
stream?
best pattern.
yeah.
Who the fuck? Get out of here. Oh, wait.
Guys.
I tripped, okay?
Alright, I am Double O Dark. I am not a super spy. Don't tell people that.
Definitely not. No,
Darn.
Mm-mm.
definition out of spy.
I don't know what I just play whatever I'm feeling. My main games have been shooters for a long time. I used to do a lot of Destiny 2 reading. That game.
Let's go.
But
Yep.
it was a fun game, but we're currently at 5% of the original player base, which
It was a fun game until Osiris.
Ooh.
Osiris is rough.
that's
Osiris is rough.
No, recently I've been playing Undertale Yellow, and I'm probably gonna. Okay, I might do Outlast VR at some point.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
I think
Ooh,
Outlast is bullying.
We'll go ID list.
Hi, I'm Idealist. I'm a Paleomancer VTuber. I talk through Mama Dodo and Undead Dodo. And the games I play, I'm a variety streamer, but I love horror, so I do horror whenever I can. And I'm also making my own indie horror game as well.
And it's very fun to watch you build that, by the way.
Oh,
Check it
thank
out.
you.
Wait, I need to see this.
Yeah. Oh.
And then,
Yeah. No, I'm Bing Bong. Please, please.
I know you don't stream, but you want to tell
They
them?
call me
Tell people who
Eyes.
you are.
My pronouns are he, him, and I don't stream.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
Hell
then
yeah.
I'm Ella. And I'm the one that dragged all of you here, so thank you.
Never heard of you.
Thank you, Ella, for dragging us here.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Alright. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm having
Proofing
some.
at the law.
Oh, no, don't bully me.
Get
wait, I
beamed
need to
down.
break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Oh, I missed.
Free me!
something.
Free me! Get me out! Get me out! I'm starting the game. You can't stop me.
Wait, no, she's starting the game.
No,
No.
no, no,
Wait,
no, no, no.
wait.
No.
Wait.
No, get wrecked!
Wait.
No, get Bing Bong. Bing Bong now.
I don't know
They were
what's the
bullying me.
Why did it say 100 skeleton has been summoned?
There's
Um,
This is one
on
of
this
this is one of the
island.
mods.
Oh.
What?
Okay,
Oh,
so
there's-
you guys know the concept
I heard
of
about
Mount
this
Everest
one.
and how tons of people die.
Yeah.
This is the same. As
Yeah.
we climb, we'll find dead bodies.
Let's go.
Oh.
I feel
Honey, I
called
need
out.
to share chat.
Why is there a skeleton?
Someone died here.
Because well,
Harper.
these are real.
Oh,
These are real people that have died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna find them.
Fun.
Share
later.
chat. There's not a
I love him.
Ella just
500, 700.
Oh.
I can count.
Something else I forgot to mention. I'm doing a stream for a cause thing for charity for this month.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to support that, you're more than welcome to.
Yep,
Let's cook these binoculars.
What?
That
Where
seems
did that
smart.
sound come from? Oh, it's a...
The
Where's
bugle.
it coming from?
The bugle.
That's so cool! We are taking that with us.
Wait, copyright. Ah! Ah!
I think they should be. I don't know if they're copyright. It's like paid for.
It's like, how sure are
Yeah.
you, actually?
Okay,
I'm gonna grab some coconuts
Oh,
to
yeah,
cook
we are
over the
we're
fire.
going to get copyright, but yeah, we don't care.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I'll just edit it out. Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, easy.
Okay,
Ella, catch!
that's easy.
Oh, someone throw you? It was dark, it was not me.
Someone's
Dark,
throwing
catch!
shit at me. Got me wrong. I caught him. I got me wrong.
I need the shared chat link.
Why does it look like you're making
Oh, you need
Oh.
it again? Hold on, hold on.
I might have one.
Ooh,
Hold on. I think I said.
Wait, wait, that best.
Yeah, I have it.
Everyone, grab
So
your
bad.
government issued coconuts
Okay. Where's that? Where's that? Yay!
and be sure to cook it over the fire for extra deliciousness. Here you go.
Oh, I see
And
what
are
you're
you?
doing.
No? I'm not doing
Food
anything?
is better food.
Don't
There we
do
go.
that.
Get out.
Are y'all?
Alright, let's go, gamers.
That's
Man.
I saw you going to my tongue, I was like, oh.
I don't know.
Hey Bear, hey Star, how you doing? Yeah, it's just a few
Also,
people.
It's not a cook. If you don't cook
If you,
We
everything
have
in
8.
inventory, I'm gonna be pissed.
If you experience a bit of lag, it's the bugle.
Yeah, yes. So we won't be using it the whole time since we're streaming. Eyes.
No.
What? Oh.
Eyes.
Every once in a
I
while.
I may I did look because I saw my OBS was lagging and I was like, okay, what's draining it all?
It is the.
I had
The bugle.
I had to close down a few tabs to make it work.
Ah!
What do we got? What do we got?
What do we got? Band-Aid and Piton. Whoa.
Piton.
I don't know.
Ow! What?
Oh,
Why am I?
why is it
Oh,
hot?
What?
Why is it
Did
hot?
You put it on.
Why?
Why is it hot?
Why?
Why is it
Birdie,
hot?
Birdie, Why?
Why is the
I don't know
tree
why.
on
I don't
fire?
know why.
Hey, guys.
I did what
Okay.
Eyes gave me.
Teehee.
Well, that's
I don't
awesome,
know either. Fun fact of the day. I don't know.
What did you
I've
do?
never.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why the tree's on fire.
Hey, what mod is this?
Different.
Asking for
I
a friend.
No.
None of us
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know.
you said jellyfish was different, right? Jellyfish.
jellyfish is
Whee!
Oh, you did a sick flip.
Thank you.
Ready for this?
I did. Okay. The thump is louder.
Alright, you know what? We're the fastest climbers in the wilderness.
Oh yeah.
This is the A team. Not gonna be brought down by any lag, any bugle.
We need to take some coconuts before we can.
Well, do we count witch, like the witch's fingers snack bugles?
What's a witch finger snack?
Yeah, they're the ones. I think they're called bugles. The ones that are like
Oh,
corn
yeah.
chips that are like cones that you put over your fingers, like you're a witch.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
me? Okay.
No, I know what you're talking
No,
about. I've
those are
never
the
ate
best.
them before.
Who just poisoned me? Who fed me
Who
poison?
who did that?
Oh man, that's crazy.
Seed poison.
Who would ever do such a thing?
Oh, this is exactly what I was expecting for this kind of stream.
Like jumps
Mods,
off building.
too many
Who
people,
broke my leg?
chaos. I'm thankful. You're burning down the island, Sunny's so excited. Why is the rum gone? You know me.
Careful for the bridge.
I'm gonna need help. I need help. Okay.
Oh.
I will state in full honesty, I don't know why the tree
All
caught
right,
fire.
I'm here to get you if you want to try that again.
We are the core of everyone.
I really don't know. I'm
I
worried.
know some
worse
mod
things are
makes
gonna
it
happen.
again, like,
Yeah, it's alright.
Yes.
I
That's
might
what
just
we're
need
here
to
for,
close
right?
some stuff on my PC.
Mhm.
Alright, let me
There's one
count
mic on
my
again.
chickens.
It is, but I
Be sure to do it, but not before they hatch.
4, 5,
Alright, chickens, look this way.
6. I got 6 chicken. I'm missing a chicken. 1 chicken, 2 chicken.
That way looks perfect. We're gonna go this way. We're going this way, chat. We're gonna beat them there. Yeah. We're gonna show them what's what.
I'm gaming, guys.
And I almost fell and died there.
yeah.
Wait, why do I see a smoke?
They can't find me. They know that I'm running from the law.
I think it's better if I genuinely
Okay, we can go around this way. There we go. There we go. I'm loving how echoey it is for them. I'm seeing a lot of poison. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh. I don't even know how I did that, really. Whee! This seems absolutely fine. Who needs another... that's another mouth to feed. Ooh, perfect. Yoink. Hell yeah. Worst case scenario, if we fall, you pull that out. This is what we call a magical mushroom. Not the ones you're used to. It will heal you if you drop it. And is one of the few items in the game that will save your life. That way? I'm thinking up that way. That way's also an option. It seems a little riskier. It's the first level every time. I don't know, man. There's something in me that's just like, just go. Is that points on the left? Am I seeing that correctly? Did we lose someone already? I hear... Oh, there they are. All right. Slowly, and then we're going to go up here. Oh, the number. Oh, the number is... I see. I'm seeing what it is. It gives us more of a numero... like a number. Was that a bomb? Did you all install bombs? What the hell? What are they doing? What are they doing over there? Alright, let's start moving in their general direction and help them up some. Hey, that screaming is usually a good sign, right? Where are they? Oh, wow. I'm heading over to y'all. I'm just a gamer. Not really. Oh, someone died up here? That's wild. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. Open... No, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna have you in here. There we go. Oh boy! There's bees! There's bees! There's bees! Okay. We're alright. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, you might need to climb around it. Is that the damn trumpet?
There is no such. We don't have trumpets. This is a
Oh.
bugle.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I
There's a
didn't
difference.
realize it
It
also
doesn't
came
have
with.
keys to press.
Oh, gotcha.
No. No bugle.
No bugle. Where are they coming up from?
When are you guys gonna get up here?
I was thinking the same thing.
Hello? Do someone want to shoot me food?
I'm good, thank you.
What are we shooting?
Okay. I'm full of mine, but it's full in my backpack.
I'm good. I'm doing a big collab right now with a bunch
Oh.
of friends, so I'm very happy.
Here you go.
But the protein
Are
powder
those
black
poison?
coffee crushed.
No poison. Good mushroom.
If you ever had a...
I get you
Ranikki,
mushroom
look
hat.
out. No! Ranikki!
What you found?
Help them!
But I
Aelarion, you took the hardest.
but I get you poison. I get you mushroom hat.
I told you.
Woo, other people!
Rawr.
I know, I got.
Oh.
Come here, I got you.
Thank you.
Alright, come on up. Come on, little ducklings. We got you. Oh! Someone push me! No!
I didn't
High five.
It wasn't me.
I had to do it.
E2!
Yeah, I'm not going to die from that, so it's fine. But I had to do it.
They told me Leon's at the top, so I just gotta keep going.
Oh!
Yeah, he shirtless too.
Oh! Why? Why?
What's the first one at the top?
Hi, how are you doing? Not that far. We're fine.
Hi.
I am a little hurt, but that's fine.
He's alive. It's okay. He has bandage.
Yeah. Oh,
I tried to help you.
no, there's enough coconuts that we're good.
I want it back.
Hi. Well, I ate 2 pieces of a coconut, so
I wanted this one back. This is my...
they may not be a coconut down there anymore.
Please don't troll me.
I have coconuts. I have 2.
I am
Like,
so
full of
submissive
not
and
to
trollable
troll.
right now.
That is the question.
What is
Hmm.
Hi. Are you sure you want to do that?
Oh,
I'm not gonna fall off. I'm fine.
Well, I don't want to say deserved, but it's kind of
If she
deserved.
does it, it's deserved. If I do it, it's hilarious.
It's just because it's bullying.
We have so many.
I'm exploded.
What's with y'all obsessed with coconuts?
Because it's a nut.
You know what? That fair? Fair?
Yeah?
You don't get a lot of those in
I'm
this.
happy to nut on Ranikki multiple times.
What? Oh, what?
Buddy.
Excuse me?
Buddy.
Excuse me?
I'm a nut.
Don't you dare. Don't-
He's hard all over.
Who want the coconuts? Someone want the coconuts?
I'm good.
Go get it.
Well, there's some more.
I'm sorry, Leonid, I had to do it.
The bees aren't here anymore. That's good.
I'm throwing
I
it
opened
down.
this and bees came out. I don't know if y'all heard me screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
got
why
it.
you're talking about bees.
Yeah, I opened it and bees flew out and stung me.
One more.
Okay.
One more.
It seems like one of the mods was updated to add more things.
That was not supposed to
Hell yeah. Listen, I'm not complaining. That was hilarious.
Oh. Wait, yeah.
Oh wait, no one.
I figured out what mod it is.
No.
Is it the bees mod?
Oh. No.
Guys, there's a bunch of coconut here.
Yeah, can we light that up? Oh, Dark is too far away.
Like, my stream's fine. It's just.
Okay.
No,
Can
I
we-
still have
Can
to
we
drop
get
the
like
backpack.
backpack? Can we?
Grab
Yeah.
When you press
grab a
forward.
marshmallow before the fire goes out.
Yeah, I pressed X4. I still have to drop the backpack. Makes no difference.
E to cook. Why am I?
Yeah, makes no difference.
Wait, you can't?
Okay.
Let me see it real quick.
Cook everything. Everything.
Yeah,
You,
can you
you
drop
got.
the
Okay, this is limited. Okay.
Cook every coconut you got.
I'll drop it. You can try it if you want.
I have like.
Oh wait, my bad. It's not 4. It's
I carried a whole damn coke. I would be willing to hold the half of it if you want to cook it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just
Oh, no, I don't wanna
just
cook
press
it, there's
B,
one
you
here.
open it.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
do it.
Let's
No,
cook
I'm good.
Everything.
I have two
Everything. Let's
coconuts.
cook the lollipop.
I might munch this.
Why do
piece.
you have a lollipop and why are you
No,
cooking it? How does that
no.
work?
I cook this too.
You can
I
cook
the
anything.
piton.
That
I
ruins the
can cook
piton.
anything.
You
I
can-
can cook.
that-
Look! I will cook the backpack.
You do
Wait, how
ruin
did
the.
that
Ella,
There's some
you just-
items if you cook will ruin it. Piton is one of them. It is not
Okay.
usable anymore.
Are you sure?
Open backpack.
Yeah? Are you?
Okay,
Is
cool.
it? No.
Unless it's a mod. Don't you dare put that in my backpack.
B for
Don't you
backpack.
dare.
Backpack on, and
I
then-
don't know. For me, it would...
I'm gonna
Wait,
open my
let me
backpack. It's
try.
gonna be full of trash.
let me try on that.
We'll get more backpacks as we go.
Yeah. I took one of them when I came out here earlier.
Won't the pitons
grab
that
the
cannot
other
be used?
Who burnt this?
You burnt the piton!
Yeah.
Il
Piton.
burnt les pitons.
Hi,
who fell?
tree.
Oh! Oh God! Oh!
Oh my god!
Woo! So we all had the same. We all had the same idea, and all of us ate it.
So many.
Oh look, a totally normal kingberry. You want it?
No, don't feed
Come
me.
here,
Don't feed
come
me.
here. Look, come here. Don't you want it?
No, I
You don't want this? But it's a kingberry. It has to be delicious. It's king.
Bappi.
What did you... What? Hey! Is that
You want-
poisonous?
No, no. You want it? You want to try? You want to try?
Don't eat it.
Eat
You
him!
wanna-
Eat him!
Oh no, no.
Nothing at him!
What do you mean? You were just saying.
All right,
it's a
you know what? Let's feed
kingberry.
each other. Let's do it. You and me both.
Nope.
We're in this together.
What is that?
Nope.
No, that's a
Stop
marshmallow.
doing what were you doing?
My marshmallow!
I figured out what mod it is, and it gets worse.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So the mod that adds the What is dynamite happening? Look. also adds scorpions, bees.
I found that out.
Eruptions, tornadoes,
I-
Wait,
even the Scoutmaster.
Oh,
Why
wait,
would
I've
you
never
do
seen
this?
the Scoutmaster.
I'm sure someone.
He's
He's a
he's a
single.
he's a pretty
eligible
skinny
bachelor.
guy. Yeah.
Keep telling
He's kind
me
of snatched if you really you
Yeah.
could describe him that way.
He's like so cunty.
What? Someone want to pet
He's
you?
got. He's got an ass.
Baby.
Oh, he
Anyone?
keeps up.
Yeah, baby!
caked
You want a
up.
baby?
Oh
no,
maybe.
no!
Scorpion.
Wait, is
Good
that me?
job.
I'm so.
Yeah, you're poisoned. You might
Yeah, I
die.
will maybe... yeah. Can someone grab me? Please?
Huh?
What?
Okay, we got it.
I don't have it anymore. It's fine.
Oh, there he goes.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just.
So what do we learn? Don't hold the scorpion.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
I have 40 poisoned.
Yeah,
We're
none
in
of the hot picks gotten, like, none of
Well,
the-
yeah, you picked up
I
the
have
scorpion.
quick stab.
Oh, did he get stabbed by a scorpion?
Yeah, he picked it up and tried to feed it to me. And then he got
Oh.
stabbed, and then I got stabbed.
Really? That's just karma.
Yeah, you're right.
I made it. Oh my god, I'm a genius.
I'm
No.
so dumb.
It's hard to crawl in the rain. You're gonna lose more.
Yeah, you gotta.
no,
You guys should wait.
I got
Oh.
pushed.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
got you.
oh, oh,
You're
oh,
good.
oh, oh,
Jump, right
No,
away.
it's bleeding! No!
I got you, boo. I got you.
Oh,
Don't touch
okay.
the poison.
wait.
Bappi.
There you go.
I have a problem. I have 10
I
stab.
have a.
There's a
Okay, is
virus, right?
poison not go away?
No!
It does.
It does,
You
it
just
does.
take
It
pills.
does.
It feels
I
slower.
got you. I got you. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hi.
Tell me not
That
to touch
way.
the poison. I make it half
Okay.
my stamina bar.
Get away from. all
Yeah.
that
The
stuff.
thing is, I have 30 poison. It's taking a long time.
Maybe
Unless
this
you got
way?
some
If you,
Ella, remember
you're
the
right.
first time when I played in the jellyfish?
I'll never forget that. That was amazing. That was very good.
Thank you.
Also, your guy looks so sad and bullied.
Mine? Yeah.
I'm going up.
Story of my life. What?
Wait, I need a hand. I need a hand. I need a hand.
Come here, I got you.
Wait, where do we go?
Over
from
here? There you go.
Want throwing hands instead?
What? Do we go there? I cannot do that, I think.
I just sneakily put a coconut in your backpack, by the
Wait,
way.
I know. I wondered why I have so much weight.
Oh, come on, come on! Look, ooh, ooh.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Is anyone else
Hey,
left?
Dark went, Dark.
Yeah, Dark.
And I think.
Dark.
Don't do it!
Oh,
Yeah.
he went on the side, I think.
Goodbye,
I
Chloe.
think he went on the side.
No.
What is your fault?
Put a
No,
coconut
it
in
is
my
your
bag.
fault.
Oh, I know what's going on. Hey guys, someone get this tick off me. That's what's happening. There's a tick on my leg.
Where?
Oh, thank you.
I got it.
Throw it away. Throw it far away. Don't eat it. Don't feed
Nom
it.
nom
no.
nom 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 nom.
No.
Are you sure you're a vampire? You should have been all over that. Like, I don't know what you mean. There was full of blood. It was like a little crunchy snack.
The blood that I
There's
won.
no way I could have.
What's wrong with my blood? You got something to say? You got something to say about my
It
blood?
was funny though.
I
Alright,
got
who
the
pushed
most
me?
useful
Wait,
item
wait, wait.
possibly could.
Oh, got you. So it was more like a that's my fries kind
Yeah,
of
it
deal.
is.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
I need to
Oh,
feed
no,
her
what's that?
one
You
more
sped it
mushroom.
yourself. That's so funny.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You can't say anything.
Feed it to me?
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm
Shut
gonna
up.
click that.
Wow.
Oh, I did.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
can I
poke my
have
head
that?
around.
Doc,
I'm
can I have a
gonna
little bit of
I'm gonna poke my
Doc?
head around the side here.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
Bappi's
clip
also
command.
really
Thank you.
There's like a few
Thank you.
vines.
Oh wait, shoot if I
You good?
Oh,
That's
oh,
well. That answers my question, doesn't it?
I think we know what happened.
I kind of want to aim for this tree. Hold on. Well, that's not actually not gonna work. Let's see here.
I'm not sure.
That's not a good
Poison?
idea.
Yeah, no.
Poisonous tree,
Yes.
plant.
These
Yes, those are
probably-
poisonous.
Wait, let me through.
That
Ah.
I'm not touching.
I'm just not moving.
Oh,
I just decided
Oh.
to be a boulder.
You're going.
oh, did you make it?
No, don't push me.
I climbed the wall and then I jumped off and then climbed on the tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can go up.
So turn around.
Of course it's
Perfect.
raining.
Okay.
Wait, who did that and how did you do that?
Turn around, jump, and then turn around, and then yep, perfect. You got it. Good job.
Where do we go now?
And turn your
Okay, we
camera
can go
and
there.
just let go and grab it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We just have to wait for the rain to go away.
Rain,
Look at
rain,
this,
go
look.
away,
I'm
come
just
back.
gonna
Um,
wait for
I'll-
the rain to stop.
Okay, never mind. They're already on their way. Okay.
It's
Let me know if you find a good
raining
foothold.
down really heavy right
Good job.
Damn it.
Dude, Bappi is all over the place.
Thank
One
you.
second he's down there, the other second he's above me. How do you
Usually that's my job.
now. I'm standing there.
I'm just waiting
Okay,
as
we're
you
gonna
wait.
wait for the rain to end.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh,
Very
I'm not
heavy
sure we can
right
stand too much here. What is
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's going. There's more
Oh,
up.
I
Okay,
can't
can
He's
you
still
hide.
looking
Oh,
for
oh, we
I
can stand
can't
here.
hide.
Okay.
There's so much more like right above.
You have to go
Okay.
through the water. Yeah.
No, do not push me.
Thank you.
How did you
All right, I'll stay up here to get other people. Y'all are good.
I'm right above
Where
you.
do we go?
We
Wait,
keep going up.
I think we have to go to the other side, no?
No, there's
There you go.
That was a mistake. Okay.
All right, y'all stay to get them. I'm gonna catch up with these guys.
Let's wait for
Ooh.
them here, no? Maybe.
Okay.
go up a little higher.
Okay, I will wait here.
All right, y'all are good. All right.
Ours is already moving.
Oh,
Oh,
y'all.
Let's blow up.
Oh.
So it sounds like everything's going well.
you want an incinerated rope?
No.
Incinerated
I can't
what
even-
rope?
Rope.
I heard something else.
Rope.
Oh, oh, and the poison plants.
Good, good. Oh my god.
This is as chaotic as
Oh,
Oh, they're red.
I'm very
Red.
thankful for it.
I think they are good. I
What
think.
the heck?
Reds are good.
Favoritism.
Okay.
It really was.
Behind comic.
I'm just building.
Bees.
They really are. Ooh, shelf fungus. Man, I have so much fungus related stuff. Let's go.
Oh, you threw it at the bee.
Did someone?
Ooh.
Can someone take that?
I don't like
I have
that.
him. You want to put
Where
it
is
back
Ranikki?
Oh
Hello.
yeah. Okay.
Up here.
Good.
Hi, stay right
Actually-
there.
Yeah,
Someone-
in case someone dies.
A
Yeah.
gift?
Guys,
Is it
the
a
bees
good
are
Yeah?
gift?
The what's coming?
Bees.
The bee?
The bees are
Whoa,
coming. Or are they gone?
Oh, someone
I
took the
have
bee.
found
PETA.
The last mushroom. Wait, stop moving.
The
Wait.
shrooms?
Oh, there's
Who?
more bees.
Reniki, run! They're trying to give you the shrooms.
Ricky. There you go.
Thank you.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's why I
Oh,
was
there's.
Let's see
Those
here.
are
I
good
think
food. Just don't run through
I'm
those
thinking
plants.
I'm thinking
Get it
trees up
It's fine.
there.
They are not purple.
Well,
ticked.
actually,
Get it ticked.
I'm thinking this way. I'm
Oh.
thinking left,
Oh,
and then we go up that way. What do y'all think?
I'm thinking right.
Get up here, guys.
You're thinking right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Grab my nose.
Wait, look,
Ooh.
What?
I think.
we can climb the trees.
I know we can climb the trees,
Wait,
but
there's a fruit in there.
is that one
I'll be right back.
good for climbing? Is my oh, that's a tornado! That's a tornado!
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Okay, we. What is that?
Okay, it's
Run
fine.
away, run away.
What? Just a little ear. What the
Someone
fuck?
opened a chest, and the chest was
I need help. I need help. I need help. I need help.
I was texting. I was
No.
No!
Thank you.
I grabbed Bappi, not Aelarion. Or no, I grabbed my D-list.
You don't know my name.
No, I wasn't looking. Next to me was like, it was Bappi, and then it wasn't Bappi. Then it was you. Oh, I'm Polly. Okay.
Are you good?
Wait, guys, don't leave me behind.
Okay.
I can still hear his voice.
I need help. I need help.
Who?
Come here, come here, come here. You gotta climb the trees.
No!
Oh! Oh, you,
Bappi.
good catch. Good catch. I noticed.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Oh shit, he's dead.
Hi. I died.
Oh,
Wait. Oh.
fun.
I died.
Oh no.
Huh?
Oh, guys, no.
Hello.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Yippee.
Were you the one that opened the thing?
Do y'all need help with these trees, or y'all are doing?
I can feed you an apple. Wait. I have apples.
I don't need.
Don't throw it.
I don't need food. I'm not hungry.
Get the.
Thank you.
I gotta heal.
So it sounds like it's going well.
Ella, where are you?
Wait, does anyone need help?
Why would you do that?
Does anyone
That's
very
so
angry.
funny.
I'm dying.
That's so funny.
Oh no,
Help me. The bees are pissed.
Just keep running.
Run to the
running,
water.
Dark.
Oh, it's coming this way.
No, the bees are coming this way.
Wait,
That's just an evil laugh if I've ever heard one. I didn't realize we had a witch. Like, damn.
Did I?
Hey,
I
Bappi.
think I should have helped.
You need to heal him. You need help.
I don't think that way. I think that way is the best way.
No, you
We
have
gotta
Bappi on your
run for
back.
our lives. Those bees are gonna just keep coming.
I don't think I have.
And I was like,
I don't have any.
oh my goodness, my back is I don't even have
I think they're there. That's what I'm thinking. Huh?
Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm in the tree.
Serious help. I am very poisoned.
I believe in you. Just do a detox. You'll be fine.
I have food, but that's about it.
Ricky.
I don't think we have any band-aids, and that's what we need to help Bappi.
I'm carrying you. Okay, Bappi, I got you. No, I refuse.
I'm just gonna wait.
I have a shit ton of stamina. Like
Uh,
Yeah.
Ricky.
Uh-oh.
I got you.
I'm gonna wait.
No, you pulled me down. Whoa.
Hello, look up. Hello, look up.
I'm looking up.
I'm standbying next to the tree. If y'all keep climbing the tree, you'll get up to me.
What now?
I believe in you. Oh, that is how you do it.
Kind of smell. Kind of smell. No.
Oh, materials.
I don't think Aelarion can climb this with Bappi on his back.
I'm also being bullied.
Wait, is Bappi like hurt dead or poison dead?
He's knocked out.
Yeah, but from what?
Thank you.
Alright, I've got my
He
hand ready.
fell.
Look at me. Look at me.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me come back down to y'all. 1 second.
Bappi, turn around. Not Bappi. Okay. Aelarion.
Hello.
Holy shit.
Hi.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
What
No
is
problem.
that noise?
That was Ranikki.
Hold on. Ow. Actually, both of us
All
now.
that extra
I don't.
energy.
I'm here,
Here.
with my arm out.
Can you guys stop hurting yourself? You're making the climb harder.
I hate you.
I literally just wanted to come here.
No, that's good.
What?
Bobby! Okay,
Oh
hold on.
no, you wasted it.
Hold on. I got this.
Oh, did he not?
That mushroom. No, he didn't say in it.
Damn.
Oh, was
Unfortunate.
that? I thought that was poison.
No, he was healing.
good. That was healing.
That was my if I won't die second life mushroom. And I was like, I'll
Yep.
get him back.
Oh. Also, the
Yeah.
coconut went through the wall, so I only have one now. Okay, I have enough.
Ella would leave
us like that.
That's
crazy.
Whatever
Okay. Oh my god.
No, man. I hate this.
Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna get my stamina back real quick.
You wanna
Oh,
put a mod in? Remove that.
thank you.
Right, go to your left, go to your left, go to your left.
Is everyone below me?
There you go.
Hey, double O dark. It's just you.
I'm expecting Bappi to carry his own weight, but he's not.
There you go.
Tisk tisk.
All right.
Why?
I went up this way, by the way, and then I went up here.
My sound alerts didn't play. What the hell? I don't know what's happening anymore.
Perfect. And then I went up this way.
If only this was closer. Ella, come back!
Don't mind me. I'm just.
They went that. They went
I'm
this
just
way.
humping the mountain for energy. You know.
Hey yo.
It's called being one with nature. Get used to it.
Yep. Just stand on where I was.
Teach me your ways.
There you go. Perfect. You got it.
Alright, step one.
Where
over
is
there.
everyone? Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
They're over
where are
there.
they? Okay. I think.
they can just.
Oh, you. Oh.
Wow.
My bad. My bad. I didn't see it.
Tell me you hate me.
Just tell me.
I'm sorry.
Listen, there's a reason why they tell you not to eat the fish on the airlines. All right.
I hate
If I
fish
get
in
the
general.
Okay, I can save a bunch of my backpack space. I just need to group together because I have a stove.
You have a stove.
You have a
Ooh.
what?
A stove. Nice.
Stove. And I need everybody together to get the most value out of it.
We're only like halfway.
Yeah, we have quite a bit. Yeah, I think this tree might be the
I have like
best.
27 energy because I'm poisoned for 33.
Yeah, same. Honestly.
Bees.
No, well,
Uh-oh. There are bees. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh,
I don't think we need to climb all the way to that top. I think we need to go. I think up that way. So we just need to go here. I think.
but can you...
Oh,
They just blew up.
nice.
I blew up the bees.
Oh, good job. I didn't even know you could.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
I didn't know we had an exterminator.
Wait.
easiest
I
way
need
out
one of you to see
ever,
this.
and we're not-
That's a
Oh, you bold man.
I don't think I have the energy for that.
I'm gonna do the other route and just climb this tree right here.
What I just
Yeah.
got
What he's
30%
doing.
energy. If,
Calm down.
if I can pull it off, you have that much, you'll make it.
Dark.
Oh, when you get up, please turn around.
Already.
Yeah, I gotcha. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Look what I got.
Will survive,
Wait, there's a
unfortunately.
shroom up there. Oh no, that's...
You are the next one in the
It's me. I'm this room. Look what I got. Look what I got.
Ranikki. Easier. Easier.
What is that?
It's a white monster. Look, it's a white
W.
monster.
I thought you were a mushroom.
Interesting.
Where
Can I?
is everyone else?
I don't know how I did that. Don't ask how I did that. I just
I know the
Looney
function, I
Tunes
know the-
refuse to look down situation.
No, if we're,
I know the.
I mean,
I know
yeah.
how you physically did
We
it.
might
but
have
I'm
went
not
through.
allowed to
Might
say
not.
Oh, okay.
How did they get up there? Wait, what?
Right, it's against
Oh,
TOS.
guys,
Gotcha.
which way? How did you guys get over there?
Plus the shroom, I really get
Through with the vine.
The great...
This vine from right there, and then we went this way.
Oh. Oh. No shot that hurt me.
That's
Yeah, I got
unfortunate.
damage by that too, it's bullshit.
I don't think I can make that.
Are you just hungry?
Let me see. I just ate something, so...
Hey, Marble. Hey.
Wow, I can't believe Ella would leave us like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
did. Don't worry.
Space to jump.
Left us
And
never
then-
to return.
Yep, perfect.
Oh, okay, thank you.
No problem.
Doing good. Oh my god, they're so down.
I did eat my last bit of food, but...
What's your hunger at currently?
It's 0 now, because I just ate.
Okay,
I
I still
ate my mushroom. Mushroom?
Chat and
The
Marshmallow? Yeah, I got you. I'm still saving mine a little bit because I think the marshmallow like gets rid of like 60, so that's why I'm holding on to it still.
Marshmallow does a lot, and it also
I just
gives
needed
extra.
to cross, otherwise I wasn't gonna
Where would be?
That's not a good
make it.
path.
What?
That's not a good path.
It's not?
Maybe over there.
Let me try and... Actually, I
Oh
might
wait,
be
there are fruits up there too.
Yeah.
No, hold on. This is doable.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
There's fruits up there if you need it.
I have a baton. Let me like get up halfway and then use it.
so far away. Oh, no.
This seems like a good spot for it.
No, you die if you
I don't know what baton does.
It gives you a holding place to rest.
Oh, that. Okay.
No,
I have
found the white
78 energy with the
I
extra
mean,
energy.
same
on it.
thing, basically.
I don't know if that helps.
I'm just waiting for the rain to chill out.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, it's just the energy can, but it's pretty scanty.
If you don't have the salmon on me.
We went this
you
way.
can do this one just fine. That took none of my stamina.
And then
Thank you.
Okay, and that baton's the way we're gonna go.
Can I run? Jump? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
You press E and no other button. Just hang off of it.
Oh.
and then
That's what I was
take this
trying to
button.
say, yeah. Don't press anything but E to grab it.
No.
We got you. We got you.
I'm still alive.
Careful. Hold on. There's a lot of traps. Careful. All right. I'm gonna open this. This may be a problem. So just
Oh,
stay far away.
hold on. Let me.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's a problem. It's a problem.
I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Get under cover.
Ooh. Ooh.
Hello, get under cover. I might get under cover.
Oh. Oh, thank
I actually went up.
God.
Dude, we went up. I love this.
Guys, look. Scout cannon. Let's go. Scout cannon.
This
All
way.
right.
You will? No, he was not gonna fall. No. I think he will.
Okay.
I got poisoned by it, but
Oh, damn it. Sorry.
No.
I'm 40% poisoned.
I
then you
need
come up
like
the
a
side.
statistic on how much poison damage I've taken that has not been.
Honest. Just not caused by you. I think up that way might be best. So let's go up here.
Welcome back.
Are you okay?
Is that a woman?
I'm okay. I just panicked.
Oh, sorry.
That better not be a woman.
No,
Is
that's
that a
fine.
woman? Yeah, the fuck. This.
Whoa!
Oh.
This guy.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Just say you
He's
hate
not
us.
sorry. He's not sorry.
Literally.
I would get out of the poison cloud. Recommend that.
Ranikki?
Poison cloud. At least I feel something.
Real. Me whenever I get caffeine.
I'll help light the way.
I deserved everything I got there.
How was I climbing without touching anything? What the hell?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys want to see a fart joke?
No, I'm scared.
You want to see it
Hey, you wanna
again?
see a
Scared,
fart
I'm
joke?
scared. No, I don't want to see it. I know it's poison. Help, Ranikki. Thank you.
It's a fart joke.
How's that help?
I don't trust you with the
Come here.
poison.
No, come here.
No,
It's a fart
I'm
joke.
nervous.
I'm
I'll watch
poisoning
from
myself.
afar.
No, come here.
Thank you.
I want to know that.
It's a fart joke.
No! No!
Okay.
No!
I knew it.
hate
I don't see
that.
anything there.
Look at there. Oh, maybe that mod isn't working for you, but it's like a
Maybe there is.
Yeah, it's a little skeleton.
skeleton, and his name is Fart.
You see other people where they died.
Skeleton.
Yep.
It might not be updated. I think.
My
So much material for me and my stuff.
button didn't work, my rag
Did
button
you
really good.
start the game with the mods?
exactly the same.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I'm on.
I don't think it will let you in, would you? Would it?
No, it
I don't
would,
know,
but it
maybe.
would be like weird. Like it will be like slaggy or, you know.
I don't know.
I don't think it would like.
I do.
I don't think it'll just straight up like, no, you can't play with your friends. I don't know why I gave him that accent, but I
Baldur's
did.
Gate does that. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
wait
the
a minute.
version is
Yeah.
wrong. And then you gotta spend like 9 years trying to figure out what's wrong.
Aelarion Studios. Come this way. Allah. This way.
Hey, you got my part of my
This
name.
way.
W.
What a cool little octo guy. I like him.
Hi. I can't.
Thank you.
I thought you were trying to run on my head. I'm like,
Thank you.
We all just step on each other.
hey, Hey,
All
yo.
right, it looks like we're pretty much at the surface, so I'm gonna eat now.
We're
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're pretty close.
Does anyone need food?
There we go.
I'm good for now.
I'm good.
I just ate, so we're good.
Kind of hungry.
All right, looks like we're all here for the most part.
Alright, we're almost up.
I'm really either way. I think will work, but I'm going this way.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that
a-
would be
Oh my god, there's an octopus.
Fair enough.
I
in
think
the
it
chat.
goes- If it is the
Yeah, it looks good. Marlon just put that there and looks sick. Also,
Wait, there's
your
an
guy
apple
looks
thing
so
there.
sad carrying Bappi all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait. Everyone will be at
I'm
Like,
carrying
so
two
mad.
people. I'm carrying people now, man.
Alright, before Bappi leaves.
You
Oh
carried
my
someone in
fucking
peak?
God. Wait, the luggage. Look up.
Yeah, I know. I'm going for it.
No way! That's so rude.
The roof sandstorm.
Bappi, you need
That's gonna
Wait.
explode, and I'm.
Oh,
Oh wait, there's an
please.
apple
I'm gonna
down
grab
here.
the-
Or
That is the sketchiest luggage I've ever seen in my life. I want
I
it.
don't even know if we can get to it.
No.
Oh, I'm
Oh wait,
I'm
can you
getting
drop
to it.
Bappi?
I'm getting to it. Hold on. Here we go.
Hold on.
Oh, that might be impossible.
Do we have
Yes.
any other? We don't have any healing, do we?
No.
You know.
Unless we get. I
I'm
don't
on
think we
fire.
get that luggage. We need to let.
I tried to
before
feed it
we
to
use we
Ranikki
have
and
to
it
let
fed me.
Bappi
What the
perish.
frick?
No.
What we could do is feed. We could drop Bappi, feed him, and then maybe that will offset it. But I don't know what his bar looks like.
You gotta put
He's
Bappi.
gonna
Yeah.
come back to life and just.
Bappi,
How do I-
Bappi, talk to us. Bappi, talk to us.
He went to sleep.
Bappi.
No,
Bappi,
there should be a
talk
mod
to
where you
us.
can talk.
Yeah, there's literally a mod where
Where's
you
the
can
mod
talk when you're
not working?
unconscious.
Oh, I can talk? Like,
Yes,
you can
we can hear
You
you.
were talking all
No
that
one.
time. What do you mean?
No one-
was
no one
talking
ever
all the
listened.
I heard you
time.
talking shit about me like the entire time,
No,
my
I
guy.
can't hear
Like,
Yeah. I was
Bappi,
talking
what
all
does
the
your bar
time.
look like?
Let's push him
But
down
no
the
one
hill.
was answering
I'm
me.
joking.
So,
Bappi, what does your bar
I don't know
look
what
like?
we could do to
Yeah.
fix that.
I need elf.
Double O, leave him.
I need elf so much.
No, leave Bappi. He's talking.
hold on. At the very least, take his backpack if you're gonna toss him off the edge.
No.
Dark
He's
is.
not gonna
Is
do
it
it.
going
He's
to
not
kill
gonna do
me?
Well, here's the thing: either we res you here, or we bring you back to life. Like that's our two
it.
options.
say,
Right
what
now.
is-
dropped when you picked him up.
What is
I
your
guess I
bar?
will
What
die.
is your backpack?
No.
What does your bar
Please.
look like? Is it just
Please
damage?
remember me. No, I need elf. Please remember me when I will
Okay,
Yeah, so
I think it's
just
damage. I think it's just
Whoa,
damage.
double,
Yeah.
I saw that. What are you doing?
Just
Okay.
end it all.
All right.
There he is.
Okay,
Yay!
The
I
backpack's
hear
still
Bappi
here.
I
This
was
is
talking all the time, but no one was answering me, so I took the one on near me.
This is proof, by the way, that necromancers
Are
are
you?
also healers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just
Are you?
saying.
I think your mods might be a little
You
buggy.
didn't see anything?
I saw everything.
I
Thank, but thank you for carrying me all the way up there.
He really
Even
did.
if it
Alright,
was
I'm
for
lighting the
nothing, but thank you.
fire.
We gotta wait for them to get closer.
Oh, get closer. Come here.
Uh-oh.
Go on,
Wait.
you two.
I don't
Stop
know.
kissing.
Is the green? Oh no, the green is bad.
I did not update the mods. I pressed
Follow the lines. Come on.
Come
Yeah,
close.
I don't know if any of them needed updates.
Oh.
I don't know if any of them needed updates, to be honest.
A
Okay,
few,
Since we're
probably.
all here cooking, I'm gonna let
I
us know.
thought I
I
updated
do
them
have
before
a
I sent it to you
portable
guys.
stove if it's needed later on.
Mesa, let's
Get
go.
rid of that lantern.
Oh,
we
no.
no longer
Yeah,
need
I was
it.
gonna say we do not need this.
Wait,
Oh, I
there's
also-
something over there. What's that?
Someone not get a marshmallow?
Right in front. There's a red thing. Right in front.
Huh? Right in front, there's
I
a
have
red thing.
marshmallow.
Oh, that's definitely a chest, or an illusion of a chest.
You're supposed to cook those.
Yeah, I've been carrying.
Hey man, some people like it.
Oh
Wait.
no.
Huh? Hmm?
No.
No.
Huh?
No!
Phrasing? Phrasing? Phrasing?
Stop feeding me poison.
Why are you living with the poisonous apple? I saw you.
Hey guys, tornado.
Oh, I don't go up here.
There may or may not be a few tornadoes.
I'm being so.
Yeah, imagine you open it and there is another tornado.
I'm gonna be the pro. Pro of pros. Watch this.
Oh no!
Is there the thing with the statue? The gold statue somewhere?
Yeah, there is a statue somewhere, but I never really learned how to do it.
You have to find the underground passage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Oh boy. Oh.
That was a good one.
Oh, was it? Okay, thank you.
That was an energy one. I see how it is.
Guys,
I want to get to the top of this one.
can we wait for a second?
Before it's hot.
Guys, come back. We have an issue with with somebody lagging. Just come back for a second.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Come back. Ranikki
back.
lagging.
Is that when she was
I
playing?
just need to sit in a corner real quick and turn off my VTube studio. My frames are so bad.
Okay. Surely this tornado would not mess with us here.
I was gonna hang on the wall.
Ranikki, come down.
I'm here. I'm hanging on the
Okay,
wall.
we're good.
Hoping.
We're
Okay,
okay.
good.
I'm gonna
Quickly just turn off my stuff and hope this makes it better. I'm sorry.
Marlon, you're funny. No, do what you gotta do. We'll protect you.
I'll
All right.
protect you.
Yeah.
I don't.
We'll try, at least.
Wait, how did you do that? You must-
All right. So we have like
It's R.
1 minute to find as many
R.
poisonous things as possible. All right. 1 minute. Go.
Wait, you have the cannon. You
I do have the cannon. I do have the cannon.
We can use.
Oh, we have
it
2
now.
cannons. Even better.
Oh, we can
Oh.
use the cannon.
Now, you know where we can go? Look, I found something.
What?
What did you
What's
find?
happening?
I don't know.
Oh, I see the campfire.
It's a
directly in front of
mirage.
us.
Oh, you're right. I can also see it.
Rude.
Oh, I found Bappi.
Oh,
See if
wait.
this is any better.
So did you want to? Did you?
Is
wanna
it
see the
better?
totem?
Okay.
'Cause we
I
found
can
it.
see. I can see.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Let's go!
Everyone go down there.
Okay,
Just if you
I have my
don't go,
glasses.
everyone.
All
I'm
right.
not sure. I
Are
think
we
we lost.
outside over here?
What?
It's down here.
Yay.
No,
I'm going down.
Tornado.
Tornado.
Tornado!
Oh, it's not coming towards our way. It totally is. 100% is.
Okay.
Get in the corner.
Uh-oh. Oh my god, Ella.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get grabbed. I have a feeling. I'm gonna get grabbed.
Hold!
Okay.
And that's how you survive a tornado in the Midwest. Oh boy! Oh! 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 Oh!
Guys, that's all over for me. If I go around.
Oh no! Help! 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 Oh! 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 Oh God! Oh! 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 Okay. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna need some help here. Ugh. Okay. Follow my voice. Is that enough? That is enough. Alright. Okay. Okay. Come on. Alright, that's a little bit. Oh boy, not again! Not again! No! Not again! Not again! I refuse! Okay. Alright. Come on. Come on. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Hey guys, I'm gonna need some anti-thorns. Pretty please. Oh, bees! 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 Run, bees!
Trap fucking bees, bro. What am I
Alright, hey, can you get these thorns out of me? Pretty
God,
appreciate
what
it.
was
Thank you.
that scream?
Thank you.
Guys?
We
And
may
there's
need to
a bee
move.
and a tornado.
B-NATO, run.
Tornado is crazy. Oh, what the heck? Oh, it's here.
Okay.
I pulled whatever I could out of my teammate and then I ran.
Oh, oh, perfect. Okay, I think I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay, let's go, comrades. Let's do this.
Oh, yes.
Whatever this is, I think up there.
Surely that shadow of a tornado wouldn't be a problem, right?
It is.
The shadows are no.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
The fire is the sun. You just don't want to be in the sun.
Yeah.
There's shade where I'm at, so you're free to follow around the corner. All right, ooh, let's see.
This is why I hate summer. Guys, I hate my summer.
Ooh, 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 ooh,
Tornado?
ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Oh no! Oh my! Oh.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that's cozy. Look at this.
Yeah. I have
Hi!
different swaps for my houses, and
I got sucked away by the tornado, so I don't know where I'm at.
I can still look around.
Yeah, we gotta go up there.
Is that an oasis?
That is it's a mirage. It's a mirage.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the spot. Hey guys, there's an oasis near me.
It's not a mirage.
Capybara! Capybara! Coconut doggy! Coconut doggy. Boop, doop, boop, 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 doop, boop.
Ow.
Next to the
Oh.
Yeah, just chilling here. We can't get
Does anybody have a band-aid?
No.
No, but do we want that? I'm gonna go get that coconut.
Get that coconut, yeah. That's a good one.
I have a portal.
If you drop it in the sun, does it get cooked?
I don't think so, because that'll be crazy.
Where are you planning on using?
I know you can hear me.
I'm gonna put like a whole coconut in my inventory. Someone grab the other one. There's
I'll
another
have a
one right there.
stove for you later when you want to cook it. I don't know if I can grab that. Can I?
We can
No,
cook
I have
them.
Where are the other guys?
Ash, do you want to cook them now?
Yeah,
I have a ton of stuff I need to cook.
I would love to eat
Ow.
some coconut right now.
Right, let me.
Every time I break it,
There you
it
go.
like.
Cook up.
All right, let me get the other one that dropped over here.
Sports ball. Actually, I didn't have a lot of stuff to cook. Oh well. Take this.
Come on,
There we go.
Master Chef, let's go. Make me a soup.
There you go. That's my best. It's bloody. Actually, wait.
What are you?
Coconut topped
Soup.
with marshmallows, topped with a fucking granola bar. Yeah?
It's raw. Where's the lamb sauce?
My food might be shit, but it's certainly not raw, right?
What?
Hello, Daisy. Oh goodness.
I think we're about
Oh,
to
should I be
have
cooking as well?
We'll be fine. This is an oasis. Nothing bad ever happens here.
Don't speak too soon.
I'm
Not when
so
there's
scared.
shadow looming over us.
Yeah, right.
Everyone
To
have
see it in
a
the distance.
As
coconut?
long as I have a
I do have a coconut, yeah.
It will not come over.
Okay, because I split. We should have had 6 in total.
Yeah, I have
I have a half and I ate one.
I have 2 halves, one on my backpack, one on my person.
I ate one.
Okay.
I have 3 coconuts in here.
That's so heavy.
Oh,
Why
I
are you
see it.
carrying that
I
many?
have a Michelin
Yeah, that's a
star
lot.
restaurant.
I was carrying 3 whole coconuts and Bappi.
Oh my
It's
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I trust the capybara. I trust.
No, you will not.
I trust. I trust the capybara.
See it?
I trust the capybara. You and me. See?
Oh, it's gone. Okay, I think we can go now, right?
Yeah, it's nighttime. Let's go.
Let's gather around the
Ooh,
campfire.
Mac.
What is
Yeah,
this?
yeah, that's health mushroom. Health mushroom. Woo.
Oh, I need a little bit of that.
You do? Okay. Does anyone else need health?
No.
No.
Yeah, let's wait till we meet up with everybody. And then
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
definitely. This is one of those things where you do not want
What
to
is
just
this,
use it on one
guys?
person. Prickleberry. You eat it, you get thorns, but it remedies hunger. And there's a tornado.
Yeah, I'm trying to run.
This is pretty nice.
Are you setting up a cannon?
Calm about a tornado trying to get it.
I
Nighttime. This is like.
stood still and I was fine.
All right, guys, I'm gonna set up a cannon over here.
Oh, W. Oh wait, there's a chest here.
All right, then let's see. No, okay.
Getting over with the cannon. Where is everybody?
Can you with a cannon? Get that cannon.
We got-
Oh, they're all behind us still.
Oh, there's a
Yeah, we
chest
might-
here, guys. Do we want to risk opening it? And here.
I would like
Hold
to
it.
play roulette. I have not been able to open one. I want to play roulette.
Okay, go,
there's
go.
a
This
chest
one is right here.
Not in the canyon. I'm gonna grab that.
Okay, okay.
Are you sure it's not a
And there's one
mirage?
right here. There's a mirage?
No, it looks real.
Okay.
Come on, slowpokes.
No, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
Yeah. There are mirages
How do you know
here.
it's fake?
When you get closer, it disappears.
No.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna risk it
A
all.
mirage works? What the hell?
All right. I'm gonna risk it all. I might have put it a little close to the edge. I apologize.
Guys, we have a cannon here set up.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Cannon's here.
Cannon's over there. It works real well.
Wait, how do I use this thing?
You either have someone ignite it for you, or you ignite it and run to the front.
Climb
But
it.
you want to
I
be
got it.
near the front, like in it as far as you can.
Climb
Wait,
in.
how do I
You
climb
got
it?
Against it.
You're in.
You're in. You're
Oh.
good.
All right,
job.
Your turn.
Bloody next year.
Where am I?
You're like in a ditch.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, Ranikki, your turn.
My perspective is really funny right now. I love this.
It is. It's so good.
Wait, I need to see this too.
Go on, go on, go on.
You're in.
Oh no, you fell out. No, no.
No!
She fell out before it
All right,
ignited.
Bappi, get in.
Okay. Wait.
All right, Bappi, get
Oh
in.
no.
Ella, your turn.
Was that Ella?
Oh no, you have a backpack already. Wait.
No, 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 that was Ranikki.
Oh no. Uh oh, uh oh, uh oh, uh oh. You did not.
All right, Bappi, your turn.
The Bappi jumped down.
Is that what happened?
All right, ignite it yourself and jump
thank-
and hop on in. I believe in you.
Men beat women.
Oh,
Perfect. Good job.
Oh my god, nothing like looking down the barrel of a cannon to make you feel alive.
Yeah, brother.
how did Ranikki fall?
I don't know. She fell out of it backwards. I think she was like pressing back.
Oh.
Boys night? Boys night?
Boys
Yeah,
know.
let's go.
Boys night? Boys night. Yeah,
Oh, wait,
let's
she's
go.
alive.
Hey, boys.
Ella, we all know you're packing. You're allowed.
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
His dick in the wilderness.
Yeah, no, I believe
Hey,
it.
yo.
Oh wait, hold on. I do want to wait for everybody because I have a medicine mushroom, so I want to heal everyone at once.
Guys,
Yes.
the sun is coming up. We gotta.
So let's find a spot where we're like.
Probably here.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait here though, because I won't take sun damage. But
What? Huh? Do you have sunscreen?
She has the bing bong.
Wait, Bing Bong protects you from sun damage?
The golden bing bong prevents.
Oh,
you
they
from
found
any
one?
ailments. Yeah, we found it.
Oh damn! I did not know
Yeah.
that. Good job.
Yep.
Wow.
We went through the whole parkour and everything.
Oh damn! I really missed a whole lot.
damn.
Shit. I got
Hey, you
thrown
were-
around. I got thrown into a cactus by a tornado.
Should have
So
jumped in the hole.
I didn't see no hole.
Hey, yo.
It's true.
Now, who do I feed this to?
Hello, I need thorns removed.
Where? Oh,
You just add more on.
Hold on. Yeah, we're
It's done.
taking, I think you're good. I'm not seeing any more.
yeah. Well, here, have more thorns.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want me to feed it to you?
I mean, I'm full.
Feed it to me. I could use some hunger. Thank you. Oh, I got 5 different berries at once, or in one expedition. Thank you. Appreciate it. What are you
I may
what
or
are
may
you
not have
snickering up there for?
I'm making fun of Ella.
Oh, I mean that's fair.
She didn't
Understandable.
believe me when I said the bing bong prevents her from any ailments, and now she's standing in the sun.
Oh, I'm fired. I'm fired.
That
I
does
wish I was
sound like
fired.
it does sound a bit troll.
Oh, help me! Help me!
Help me, mushroom god.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-oh. Mushroom god. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Now
you.
we can point and laugh.
Oh, whoa, you good? Okay.
Yeah. No, I was already up, and I had like 3 kills ripping them out now. So thank you. I'm alive.
I'm surprised they're still alive, by the way, down there.
they're still alive.
Oh, they're over there. All right, cannon part
Oh, I see
2.
them. Cannon part 2 is crazy. In the sun, too.
Yeah, that's wild. I like how they're just like, hey, we fell down the cliff once. Let's do it again.
Cannon part 2, but this time it goes correct.
Well, we have another cannon, no?
Oh.
I thought we had 2 cannons.
I'm pretty sure I think Bappi has
I don't
one.
know.
Oh.
Yeah, Bappi has that one. Oh, I hate this.
So cute.
I hate it here. I hate it here.
Why do you hate it? What happened? Why do you sound so
The
sad?
Mesa
I'm
is my
so
most
sad.
hated.
Really? I find it the most fun.
100%. I hate it.
I don't like the
To be
ice one
fair,
the
I
most.
also hate.
I don't like the sun.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like
I don't like the sun. I'm a Canadian, so I have to like winter. So I'm chilling. And
Oh.
I have this.
Oh. Why do you still have it?
Isn't that for giving you heat or something?
Yeah. What would you need heat for?
We don't freeze.
We don't freeze.
For the winter?
No, no winter.
No winter.
Summer
It's
instead
summer.
of winter.
It's summer, not winter.
Yeah, but I'm carrying it to the.
There-
What?
There is no alpines. It's Mesa.
Wait, is this the last stage?
No, second.
Huh? No, this is the.
No. So
This
the
is the
theme
third.
goes beach, jungle, alpine, or mesa.
Let's back up
And
to
then it's Caldera,
shade.
and then it's...
So I'm carrying this for no reason?
kind of,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
Frick!
The only other reason you would want to
outta
carry it. Never mind.
The
only other
reason is if we're doing an ascent.
yeah, where it's like the fog is rising and then it makes you cold, then you can last longer. Like that would be the other reason. But there's no fog.
I'm surprised the fog isn't
During the night.
Ow!
Nope.
Ow.
Why are you climbing higher?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just following people.
Don't follow me. What are you doing?
I'm following you. You can't stop me.
Twitter, would you like me to put the...
Shine bright. Oh.
Widowy epic.
Like, oh my god. What?
Would you like to be used for engagement?
Is there anything else? What? I didn't do anything.
In what regards is there anything else?
As in to eat. I'm
Oh.
45% hungry.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I have a thing. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I know. Wait, don't give it to me. I have one already.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna finish that and then
Yep.
go from there. W.
Okay, looks like the sun's coming down
75
soon.
plus 28.
Hello? Hello?
Echo. Echo.
Echo? Marco?
Oh my god, I was just about to say that.
We're almost at sunset.
No one heard that. No one heard that. You didn't hear that, Dodo.
Hold on, I'm gonna poke my head above
Yeah,
and
slide
see if
down.
we can get, so they can get...
With the cat out.
I told you.
Alright, sun is no longer burning.
Uh-huh.
I believe in y'all! I believe!
there's no aliens in this game.
Well, I'm convinced.
What is this, second time's to try?
That's hilarious.
Hold on, I want to see this. Let's see how this goes.
Just the tornado just creeping
Yeah.
in the background.
Throw them back into the pit.
It physically can't get them, but it's like it's lurking.
Good
God,
job!
she went
Imagine if
flying.
it fell
That's-
down again. Is that the fog over there?
I have a healing
No.
mushroom for y'all. All right, y'all come over here. I have a healing mushroom for everyone.
Time to go down.
All right.
Where is double? Oh, there you go.
I think
Double is under us.
65 damage and I have 45.
All right, everyone.
Everyone,
Time to gather
gather up, gather up.
Oh yeah!
Anti.
Wait, where's it? Bappi, do you still have the rocket launcher?
There we go.
No.
Everyone stay in.
Stand in it.
No,
Stand in it. I told you.
I put-
Isn't it nice?
It's very
I
nice.
No,
put
just
my
wait
rocket
until we
launcher
get to the
in
next one. You can walk
in
on the
one
floor,
backpack.
like on. I don't know if you can survive the lava.
Okay, cool.
But you can just run across the floor when the lava's down. It's the
I'm
best
kinda
feeling. It's so
thinking,
funny.
Hell yeah.
Probably
That
No,
way?
but this will
I'm
be
very excited. Thank you very
crazy.
much. I appreciate
Yeah.
Kind of like that,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
We did it. We're all
Content.
together and everyone's
Guys,
fine.
look to your left.
We're
Welcome,
all in there.
What about left?
There's a dead
It's a
person.
ditch.
Oh, there's dead people everywhere. You could say I see
Dead
them.
person next to a large dick.
Huh?
Yeah, I was thinking that. You're thinking what I was thinking.
You really put some like flex on that K
Gooners.
there. That dick.
If I ever stop gooning, you
Wait. Are they?
If I ever stop gooning, insert sentence here.
Oh,
Hey yo, who do we got?
Oh my
and Indy. Goddamn.
oh my god, they got dirty.
I can't show them that. God damn.
They got down and dirty even in the afterlife.
Okay, Zelda, enjoy learning.
What's happening?
They don't know I'm above them. Oh, the textures are kind of coming in and out.
A boost, I saw that. I saw that.
Can you help me please after I call you? Thank you.
No, I'm literally.
Don't worry, I'm okay. I don't know, we're fine. We're fine. Hey guys. Hey guys, how you doing?
How? There's chests over here.
I don't want to see any more chests in my lifetime.
Okay, thank God. Ooh, let's go. Hey, how you doing?
Alright, I get let's go over here. I'm gonna go where
Wait, Ella.
Why can't we use
I got the cannon if you want.
I'll wait for y'all up here. Hold on. Before y'all come up here, there's a dynamite, like right there. 1 second.
I'm just green, okay?
Guys, hold off 1 second. There's dynamite up here. I need to trigger it.
You got
Imagine if
grab
you throw it on all of us right now.
Say,
Could
grab it and
all
throw
of
it
us.
easy.
You could do pentakill.
It's so funny.
And she decided all the time.
No,
If I was
Son, move.
if I was a lesser man, you would all be dead.
Thank you.
Better have your arm out, honey. Thank you.
Good thing you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got this, Bappi. You got this.
Oh no!
Bappi,
no,
quickly.
fire.
Bappi, quickly. Okay.
Ella, you might need to be the one to grab them because you're immune to fire.
Oh, yes, I can do it.
Well,
Well, I
no.
can't grab anyone.
Okay.
I can't grab anything with
Oh, you have to be holding him. Okay. Sorry, I thought
You
if
have
you,
to
as long as
physically
you.
hold it.
Okay.
You have
I
to
don't-
physically have it in your hands.
Gotcha. My bad.
Yeah.
Do you have any food?
Nope.
Do you need food?
Wait.
I have a shell
I don't have
fungus.
food.
I still have a cooked coconut in my backpack if y'all need food.
Yeah.
I forgot that you can.
I'm surprised you've kept a coconut this long.
Well, it's half a coconut. And
Even
we
still.
we found an oasis. That's why.
Oh, okay. Also, you can stand up here.
Perfect.
Vaguely.
Aelarion, you good?
On my way up.
Kinda. Holy, I'm looking at my
All right.
and my screen is
Use your arms to.
Yeah, I had to close some things down to keep my stream to a decent frame.
Just use your arms and climb up the rocks until you are up.
Oh, whoops.
Wait, I found the underground. I found the mine.
There we go. Ooh,
You have to bring
that's been up for way too long.
and you have to like grab
Uh-oh.
the rock
You good?
as you grab. And
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna make it, guys.
What happened?
No.
Oh wait.
Wait.
So there's just a few dynamite, huh? Just a couple.
Just a few.
I'll believe in you. Come on now. Okay. Good job. Why is
Wait.
this game making my entire system lag like no other?
It's because of the mods.
I have 60 FPS. Y'all
Wait, where did we say wait? Oh.
There you go.
I had to turn off my model.
My
There you go.
GPU at 100%.
Yeah, you the answer's yes, by the way. The answer's yes, you did.
I'm coming. Thank you.
Welcome. Alright, we got you. No problem. No, this level in particular is not liking what's happening.
It just makes us huge.
Oh no!
Oh.
Go back, Duck! No! Go back, Duck!
Okay.
I can't really get up.
Okay, don't move. Don't move.
Just watch that happen.
He wiggled.
Hey.
He got
Hey.
stuck
yeah.
on the cactus.
Yeah.
Did a little dance.
That was kind of fun though. You're going crazy, man.
Okay, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay,
Okay,
I
I
don't know
think-
if we can jump over those.
You just gotta go up a
Oh.
little
Yeah,
higher.
Just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it.
Alright, guys, I need thorns from you.
See, y'all got it.
Okay. Do you need me to come back over there? Are you?
I might be able to do this.
I'm thinking actually that way.
Oh.
We'll go that way.
Let me check out this way and see if this is a good spot for y'all.
I think it does. Maybe this way we can, but it's on the sun, so...
Hey, you guys got any band-aids?
I have a first aid if you really need it.
I have 38 damage.
That's pretty high. Oh wait, hold on. There's some more. There's a lot of suitcases and a lot of bombs up here. 1 second.
I don't know what happened.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna move. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, wait, guys.
No, that's not... No!
Hey, show my chat.
I will move, because I don't...
I'm very overstimulated.
Don't fall.
Yeah, same. I got a little bit of a headache.
No, scorpion. Scorpion. No. No. Bad scorpion.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Come back. Okay, wait. I will open these two skates. Watch out. Idealist, watch out.
Okay, back it off.
Oh.
Oh my god.
What does he do? What does he do?
No!
Wait, there's a dynamite. Throw the dynamite at him.
Okay, okay, everyone get away from him. I'm gonna throw. Oh, that's unfortunate. Never mind. No, Bappi.
There's nothing we can do to help. He's just.
Oh
I
my
think
God,
you just die.
Pour one out for the homies.
Yeah. That's a why is there a balloon there? That's wild. Yeah, I did. I don't know what that was.
Wait, be careful. There's dynamite right there, right above your head.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
It is.
Wait, throw the dynamite at him.
He's already dead.
He's spawn camping. He's spawn camping.
Oh, he crawls like a little spider.
He goes through another
Oh.
player. He goes through another player. Be careful.
No, I think he's.
Oh. No,
Where's he?
Ella, remember, he's got cake.
All right.
Getting Bappi up.
He's kind of kicked
Hold
out.
on.
He's kinda
Hold on.
like-
He's in.
Who has the health kit?
I do.
He's gone.
I can carry him again.
No, hold on. I got him.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
He got mauled to death.
Stop
Thank
sleeping,
you.
bro. You lazy.
I think he's not. I think he did not left. Like he's still on.
I told you.
Why is there a tornado inside?
I
That
still
was
have the vision.
that was a
Like, he's
luggage opening.
Yeah.
Where the hell's my backpack? Why is my backpack on? What happened?
Oh my
It's it might be down there still. No, yeah, it's on the ground.
that
It's on the
mine?
ground. It's not
I still
mine.
have the vision like he's
That's
chasing me.
not my backpack.
Oh, maybe I stole yours. No, that's mine.
not
No,
it.
this one is mine.
Well done, backpack.
Wait, is he still here? Because I feel like he's still
Oh,
here. I feel
actually,
like,
this spot might. I think that spot's pretty good.
like the,
Let's go that way.
My screen is like
No,
he's
he
still
left.
here.
He left.
Okay, So my
Because
screen is
this
like-
way, I don't
I
see
feel
much
like
up that.
it's-
Let's go that way.
Yeah, no, he's
Sorry, bro.
gone. That does happen.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah.
That is
I don't
the
see
most
anything.
of it, I hate it.
I actually.
Alright, I'll be your seeing
Make
eye
sure
for
you
tonight.
limit the game's frames to like 100. Because mine was at 400.
Oh, what's my? No, my frames is not 100. Let's see, up this way. Okay, then we go up this way. Oop. Okay, we're good, we're good. Is that another chest? Is that worth opening? Like, now I'm just like, Alright, let's see. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm thinking up that way? Kinda? Maybe up that way? And then, whoop! Then up here. Then up here. Up there. All right. All right. We could go up that way. We're just gonna have to risk it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, these are poisonous. Oh, this burned a lot. That burned a lot. Unfortunate. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. The sound didn't go off.
This is just the normal map. All of the dynamite that's like in the ground is the normal map.
Oh my god. I'm blind.
Oh, these frames, dude. Okay, we can't go that way. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see here. We're okay. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Okay. Oh, do we want to go up there? It's kind of a good spot. Maybe. Okay. All right. It's risky, but we gotta risk it for the biscuit, and we love biscuits in this house. Okay. Ooh. Okay. All right, up that way. Hey, Kai, how you doing? Hey, Marble. Oh, wait, did Streamlabs auto do my thing? That's hilarious. How you doing, Kai?
What's up, Ron? Oh my god.
It's, this is a 8-person peak climb. Very fun, by the way. Hey, Marble. Yes. Oh, sorry. Did you want to say hi to Kai? While it's explosions and dynamite's happening. Cute dog noises. Yeah. Good girl. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you enough attention during collab streaming. Oh, that's on me. That's on me, huh? Isn't it? Oh, good girl. Good girl. But hopefully you're having a good day, Kai. How are you feeling, by the way? I think the last time I talked to you, you got like gross child cold syndrome. Okay. Yeah, that was from Kai.
Can I take your food?
I'll send a pic for you later. Okay. Okay. Oh no. Oh, was that not enough? Oh, was that not enough?
I was
Huh?
gonna feed it to Ella.
Victoria Child did this. You really did, though. You honestly did.
It was just a purple kingberry.
Good girl. Good girl.
No, I was gonna give you.
Why don't you sit next to me while I climb this? Huh? Is that not good enough for you?
No,
Okay.
it's just a purple kingberry.
Oh god, no. Oh god.
I am burning.
Oh
it
god.
just does little damage.
Okay.
And you're fine.
Okay, let's see here. What do we got? I don't even know where I...
Wait.
Oh, hey! What's up, guys?
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. Oh, no.
I have something for you.
Good bro.
Look at me.
I thought it was gonna blow me up.
Oh, hello, Ghost. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, Dark died.
Use that when you.
Oh, no.
Get moving, yeah? Oi.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
If I wanted a ghost slave trader, I would have built him myself. Thank you very much.
Wait, whoa.
Oi, you gotta go up that
No.
mountain, yeah?
Okay. Wait.
Oi.
Let's see. Ooh. I'm gonna open a thing over here. It might kill me. Let's see.
No. Are you okay?
Oh. Sweet.
I get lost.
Okay.
Let's go, balloon.
You get a free balloon, nothing.
Balloon.
And whoop.
He's not dead.
I'm coming back. I just have like no.
Good. I'm glad your voice back. I'm glad you're feeling better. Hi. Huh? Oh.
Hi, how
Yeah,
are
I
you?
gotcha.
Hi, thank you.
Hey.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, Kai says hi, by the way, Ella.
Where do we go? Where do we go from
Hi,
here? We go
Kai.
there?
Hi, Kaiji. Where are we supposed to go?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably over where Bappi is, not gonna lie.
Be careful.
I'm gonna check up here real quick.
Can this Scoutmaster effect?
Something tells me this is near the edge of the map, though, so I'm
Maybe
gonna
try to go
come
there
back.
first.
Hi, Ella.
Oh boy! Oh, this damn lag.
Okay. 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 Got you.
What do you mean? Oh. Unfortunate. Hey, how are you doing?
I can try to do that.
I have food. I can at least give that to you.
I have food.
Ella, did that help you?
Look what I found.
Yes, it's going to.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
That's perfect for them.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we got some
Al,
food
want
for
some
you.
food?
Yeah, there's some food for you.
Is it the purple one though? Ow.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Look at me.
See? Yep. Oh, stop moving.
Not moving. I stopped
There you go.
moving.
Yeah, see? Easy.
There's one more.
Okay.
That one we can't grab without consent.
I will try something risky. That means jump there.
I don't know.
Okay,
where it is.
go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
It's in,
No.
it's in the,
Oh, oh, no.
wait,
Are you-
wait.
Okay. If you can,
No, it's in your.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
No, I'm dead. No,
You're-
no, no,
It's in
I'm
your
stuck.
cheek.
Hold on. Hold on. Oh, 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 oh. I'm good.
Okay, I have 2 stamps. It's like 5 stamps.
Okay, so the thing is, you have to not get catched by this, but you can jump on this. And I'm gonna
That's
try to
smart.
catch
Go
you.
ahead. Yep.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah, we should have done that. Can you
Think
help me,
smarter, not
picking off
harder.
My thingy.
Can you not one-up Bappi during
I'm
the
almost-
stream? Thank you
I
very much.
almost died.
Hey, Sky, how you
Hey,
doing?
they could have asked for help.
Uh-oh. Oh!
And the crevice.
No!
and the crevice.
No! 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 Oh! Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, you're with
Oh.
us, thank you. Are you
Oh!
okay?
Oh my god.
The power of angry British.
I opened it.
No,
but
oh no, I took too much. Oh no.
Oh.
Hey, on the bright side, it didn't send you off the edge.
I
still
got
the
stuck on a
full
cactus,
scout
thankfully.
master
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Thank
that dark
you.
for some time.
Hell yeah, Sky.
It was
Enjoy your
so
walk.
horrible to
Oh,
see.
they
Like,
took
I
it.
was
Okay.
blind.
I took it. I took all of it.
They get bees or they get scoutmaster, whatever. That's what happens to them in a chest. First time I open a chest,
Oh.
it shows me higher than the
Mushrooms.
GTA 5.
Thank you for the donation, Kai.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Let's go.
So high that I could see the jungle and
We're $20 in. Let's go.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Can you de-stick me?
Yeah, I got you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
wait,
Um,
don't worry.
Help!
I'm just-
Help! Help! Help!
Oh,
Oh.
wait.
You're fine.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you got multiple.
Wait. Total.
There's
There
a
we
scorpion
go.
behind you, by the way.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. That would have been honestly kind of funny if you were just like not gonna say anything.
Thank you, Bappi.
I'm thinking up that way.
You stole my idol. Bring that back. Eyes.
Did one of y'all grab the sunscreen?
I did.
Okay, because we're gonna need it in about like
Baby.
20 seconds.
My boy.
Okay,
My son.
grab that
Please
and
don't
then go up this side.
Please get
Wait, look at me.
I have one on me. You have one on
Oh
you.
my god,
Okay.
you wanna
You have a
de-stick
lot.
each other?
That's actually
Yeah.
Well, y'all
Oh my
sticking
gosh.
each other. May I have a
Whoa.
spray of sunscreen?
Whoa, we're not sticking anyone. We're
We're
de-sticking.
unsticking.
Oh.
essentially.
Thank you.
I still have one more.
Thank you.
Oh, the sun is coming
I think it's on my arm.
Yeah, it was on your weenus.
Thank you.
Not the weenus.
Sorry, I was looking with consent.
That's alright.
Looking with consent.
Does someone need sunscreen? You want sunscreen?
Okay, we're going up this way.
There you go. I have this one.
Alright.
Are you guys alive?
I am.
Where do we go? Okay, I have sunscreen.
Okay.
I need out for lot.
Just enough to get that.
It's very small.
None of it's hunger. Zero hunger.
I'm still
There we
here.
go. There we go.
13% hunger and leg or something.
Okay.
Yeah, we just caught up with y'all. I think it's okay
Woo! You gotta make old man noises when you jump. It's like, after you become age 30, it's like required. When you're over the age of 35, you have to do it when you sit down. I think y'all are below me. Ooh! Oh. Uh-oh. Sunscreen ran out. Ooh. Alright, we're in here. Let's do this while we're at it. There we go. Okay. Okay, they're definitely all struggling. I want to help, but at this point, I don't see any good spots where I could aid them in any way. Without getting burned, you know what I mean? Go find the Scoutmaster. We already saw the Scoutmaster. It came out of a chest. This is modded, by the way. In case it wasn't obvious from so many different people.
No, the sun is chasing us again. I have 10 sun. Oh. Do you need food or something?
Hey, on the bright side, we're almost there.
Wait, where you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like just a little bit further up, and y'all are in the clear.
Oh no, sorry. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I can join you. I don't have enough sun.
Y'all are almost there. Y'all are almost there. I see Mushroom Cap.
Okay. I'm using my extra sun.
I was gonna say, you're almost there. You're so close.
Yeah, but... Okay.
Alright, I'm right above y'all.
Almost all my extra sun. And now where do we go? Okay.
We just go up.
Yeah.
Go around this and look to your right. We're almost there.
If y'all see my pointer, I think I just saw y'all.
Hi, Ranikki.
Hello, look up. Woo.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We're almost there.
Yeah, but... Oh, where do you go? You go there?
Yeah, you can go there, and then you can come up here, and then it's pretty much a clear shot after that.
I will need help for that. For
And
this
then
one.
just go up behind you.
I don't
Hell
have
yeah,
enough stuff.
Scott. You don't have enough stam? Okay, on my way.
Why am I not? Hold on, my chat's messed up.
Alright.
Okay.
Come on up.
You just gotta wait it out.
Come on. Shift to lunge.
Okay.
Gotcha. Oh. Hell yeah. Okay. Is anyone behind you, or is it just you two?
How are you?
I
I think Ella is still alive, right?
Ella's with Aelarion right now, but
And Aelarion too, yeah.
I was say, can one of you wait for?
Yeah, no, I'm
gonna go
waiting.
to the
Y'all
top
go ahead
and
and find a
get
way
my
up
cats.
if you want. It seems that there's a clear path up, so y'all can do
Yeah,
that.
this
I
way.
can wait. I can
This way
wait.
is fun. Just...
Hi.
Wait, I need help.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
once we get close enough to the top, it stops.
Yeah, it stops burning after a while. Yeah. I don't know the logistics behind that, but we're just not going to question it.
It just looks that way. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, we move on.
Oh, we cannot do that?
That's the spirit. In fact, you're the spirit.
Wait.
Oh my god, you look like.
Can you...
Oh, that hurt me. Boo, boo, boo.
I'm coming. Where is everyone?
If you can hear my voice, I just helped some people up.
Oh, you have... You can...
Okay,
No,
I'm
it's too big. It's too big.
I just have like
It's smaller. Smaller. Okay, fine. No. Good.
No, it's okay. I gave up on purpose.
Still a bit too, but okay, fine.
Thank you for your
Oh, you big.
Let's see, where are you? Where are you?
Oh, that item is gone. Oh,
You alright?
It doesn't matter. Fuck it. You have so much stamina.
It's the only item. Fuck.
It's gone. I don't.
Oh wait, this is a thing, isn't it? I can put the balloon in my backpack to make it lighter. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Ella. Oh no, okay, you're still there.
But I'm not gonna put up with that again. Okay? No, I know. I'm gonna die.
Ella, you still there?
Yeah, I'm just stuck.
All right, hold on. You're definitely closer.
Where are you, bro?
I'm definitely. I dropped my idol.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would
Did
be
you
too.
drop it on my body or?
No. I almost grabbed it.
Someone. Ooh. Honestly, that someone opened a chest and it was a tornado. That's what I am going to assume. A second tornado?
People are dying up there. Don't go up there.
Oh, I know what happened. It was a tornado and a scoutmaster.
There's a tornado and there's a fire with a scallywag.
So we're gonna hold off for a split second. But where I'm at, Ella, is safe. So keep on going to me. You're farther down now. I just don't know a good spot for you to come up. I mean, I wish I could guide you. I think our ghost friends would be able to guide you better than me. Hold on. Do you know where the rope is? Hey, Ella. Ella's even farther now. Where'd she go? Oh, wait, hold on. There's a thing that we can do. Isn't it like hold T? I'm so glad I've never played this version of Peak. It's really funny. Ugh. Oh, you're at the top? Oh. What the hell? I went down for you. What the hell? Is anyone else near me that need help getting up? Because I'm going to start moving up. Hey, is anyone else needing help near me?
Let me check. No, it's just you.
All right.
Everyone else died.
Oh, okay. All right, on my way up.
They opened a chest right at the top, and
Yeah.
they got hit by a tornado, a flame bomb, and the scallywag, I like to call it.
Okay, I guessed the tornado and the scallywag. I did not know about the flame bomb. That's really funny.
And then Ranikki got launched into the cactus like I did.
Oh no. All right, let's hopefully I can get up there without myself getting burned.
I think.
We are either just tall enough.
You can do it. You can do it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm.
You might need a.
We're good.
You might need a break down. Oh, there's a crevice right here. I don't know if you want to go in there.
I think we're good. I think as soon as I get past this, we're good to go.
Okay.
I'm loving all the stuff. Stop posting leaks, please. Streamlabs is like begging, please.
Oh, you're almost there.
Yeah.
What's this statue thing?
Oh, it resurrects anyone who's dead.
Oh.
Or if everyone's alive, you get a special
Every
item.
bit of it, but I was downstairs.
Oh, okay.
So
I had my hands wet. I was like, fine, I'll go back upstairs.
Is this everyone that's alive?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring everyone back.
Yeah, bring everyone back. Get ready for impact in 3, 2.
Go!
Oh! Wow.
Welcome back.
Why did I just take damage from spawning in?
Because it's your luck every time.
I was gonna say, this game does that. It's so dumb.
Oh my god.
Torn page. Embrace the occult.
The thing
One
is,
of our
if
first
that was not
Virgin
me
died.
that opened it now, imagine if we opened it after everyone revived. We would have all
I
died.
was, I was like, why did you open that when there was a chance for it to go bad and I'm AFK? Fucking Bappi was trying to kill me.
Seems like this bends the rules more.
I did,
Go
I
whack it,
did.
perhaps something else might happen if we use a statue when everyone else is alive. Ooh.
Where's the
Interesting.
backpack? Oh.
Yep, backpack there.
We gotta take out these Pringles.
Everyone touch my back.
Ooh,
Wait, there's a
spicy.
monster on
Consent, please, first. The consent,
Yes.
please.
Wait,
Uh,
guys,
yeah, I
someone
can
else
sense
take the
everyone
backpack. This
ripping
is too
the
much
balls out of my body.
responsibility for me.
Yeah.
Hey, drop it.
Alright. Here we
Oh,
go. Only two more,
Not
guys.
the cannon.
We got this.
Backpack.
We got this. I already have a backpack, so unless you want to put the backpack in my backpack.
Can that work? Infinite glitch?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
You got caught by the cactus.
Huh?
That you got caught by the cactus, so you didn't get launched off with everyone else.
I'm alive, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I also got caught by a cactus.
Alright, who wants...
Oh no! Marlon, please feel better. I hope you feel better, bud. Good luck. Keep us posted. Be safe. Feel better.
Yeah.
Alright.
Agreed.
Who wants to test it?
No, I already. I'm good.
I volunteer Ella. I volunteer
No,
Ella.
I haven't died
That
yet,
looks
so
like death. I'm good.
It's like a 90% chance for
Imagine a
death.
tornado spawn here.
But that would be funny.
Oh, look.
It would be.
There's a dead
I'm gonna go left.
Left. What about right?
What about right?
Not.
It looks safer somehow. Oh, they look identical. Wait,
know.
they're identical.
Like, not the chat or something.
Wait, where are they going? Oh, there. Hold on, I'm coming.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, there we go. There we are. We found it. Perfect. Y'all good? You good, my guy?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm chilling like a villain.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, we'll probably have to do something a little sneaky here while the lava's low. We need to be quick and decisive. Ooh. What? Great.
Thank you. Ow.
Yep.
I think we're good, right?
We need to avoid, there's a firestorm happening directly to our right, so we need to head left.
Yeah.
But as long as we give it a wide berth, we should be okay?
Yeah. I think so.
Hi! You got something to say? Huh? You got something to say over there? How was that middle choice decision going for you, huh? That's what I thought. Don't worry, I'll either make sure you get there, be the only one alive, or you'll be the first to die. There is no middle ground.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm used to dying. What?
Yep. Listen, Paleomancer, I get it. Let's see. I'm gonna look around this here. I don't know if there's anything gonna be here. Let's see.
We could technically cross from the bottom.
There's something on the other side here. If you're confident. There's a ledge that'll be okay. You good?
Okay.
All right, now I'm gonna head down. There's another firestorm coming up.
Oh yeah, how do you say fire?
We say food.
You good?
Nope.
What?
Uh-oh, I'm dead.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, I'm good, I'm good.
something bad can happen, right?
I'm very hurt.
You're very hurt. I don't have anything to heal you, my guy. I'm sorry.
My guy, instead of climbing down,
Yeah. We're gonna have to cross this soon. There's a lot of firestorms coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
There's band-aids!
I need bandages, guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bappi
Aelarion
needs
probably needs
bandages.
Okay.
Need that bandage.
I'm coming.
We just wait for the lava to go
Hi.
down, I think.
Hi.
I don't want to risk it.
You should wait until the lava goes back down before you jump.
Yeah.
No, just jump now.
The chain will burn.
Portuguese is really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
The lava is going down. The lava is going down.
Okay. It's going down. Go for it. I'm yelling. Ah! Ah! Ah!
I'm burning. I'm burning. I'm burning. I'm burning. How do I get out? Oh, thank you.
Good job. I love we went 2 different ways and we went to. We're going to. We collided. This is good. This is great. All right, let's go this way.
Wait, where's the band-aid?
I don't know who has it. Oh! Are you okay?
I accidentally pressed X.
Oh no.
I almost died, no.
All right, it's gonna be a little toasty, but you can do it.
Ugh.
I got you.
Ella, do you still
This is
have
like
the
my
band-aid?
second time playing.
You're doing really well.
This is my. Well, I don't know about that. I died.
So?
I do.
Who? Careful.
Is that a nest?
Yes, you can get eggs.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And then you can cook them.
I missed my space boat. Yeah.
After you?
If I end up moving, there's
Oh, that also works.
Thank
Ooh!
you.
It didn't even look around at me.
W.
Does anyone need food? Everyone
I'll get
okay?
through it.
I still have my marshmallow, so I'm good.
Then we would have the option.
I had to use mine, but I'm good for now.
I think this middle one it should be fine to move forward with.
I went to that side, but we can go.
I'd love to learn French, but I know I'm gonna butcher the language.
Do you know
Alright,
any
let's-
other languages, Ranikki?
I know American Sign Language.
That's actually really cool.
I could talk to a deaf French person because about 80% of American Sign Language is based off of French.
Hold on.
That's actually really impressive. I've always wanted to learn English.
All right. Oh, that person over there, you're struggling.
Oh yeah, and if you throw it where it's hot, if you throw it when it's hot, you get cooked in.
Careful not to burn it. You will kill yourself. Do not burn it. You will die from poison.
Coming from the mama Dodo. How did you get here?
I'm all listen. I disappear and reappear all the time. You're just gonna have to get used to this.
What the fuck? How is that? And you don't take that.
Amazing. Yeah, I have a book on how to learn it, but I'm a visual learner, so I feel like I need to like go to a class for it.
Yeah, I'm also a visual learner.
Kind of.
I'd have to do weekly French.
I just finished
A
taking
learner.
crochet classes.
Yeah, I learn.
Visual and practice.
It's gonna be hot on my
Barely.
I like that she chose the chain that's on fire. Oh, no! Hold on. Oh,
I can't dive.
Speaking
Yeah.
of,
Wait, who fell?
did we lose?
Bappi.
Yeah, he's in the lava.
He's swimming in the
might be able to
lava.
grab
He's
once
the
the lava goes
Terminator.
down.
I'm swimming. I'm not fine.
Eyes!
I'm fire.
Oh no.
Mostly.
no,
Oh, I hope he's alive.
We have to wait for the lava to go down to grab him.
go get him.
Oh, we all went for him. We all went for him. We're all heroes. We all of us jumped into the fire for Bappi.
Wait, no, you did open that. That was you.
Yes, I was doing the safe one and opening it when no one was there, so I was the only one suffer.
Bappi's true.
I did the sacrifice play.
Thank you,
All right,
Eyes. I'll
Yep.
revive you.
I didn't open one of them, but I opened the rest. Be careful
Why
for
was
scorpions.
this level so much shorter than the others?
I don't know.
Because the floor is
it's
lava.
horizontal, not vertical.
It is, yeah.
No, it's a build-up.
Vertical.
It's a build-up for the next one.
but I'm trying to learn
So Bappi, how did it?
Also, I did. Also,
French
Ella,
is
look, I can
French is
point.
hard, That's the one that lives.
Ella, to your right, there's scorpions. Be careful.
I'm gonna throw him. I'm throwing him.
Oh wait, no, they're alive.
How does it feel
Okay,
to
that
swim
one.
in lava and survive?
Oh, there's
Oh,
so many.
you're dead. No. Like, is it way
Ella,
Yup.
that one's alive. The other two are cooked.
Oh, I
Is
got
it-
a glizzy. What does this do?
I imagine
tell, I'm blind.
it's food.
I got a
I can
Scoutmaster,
eat
so.
it.
I
Honey, I
imagine
got a
if these were
glizzy.
booby trapped.
Monster
Bappi,
energy,
die.
done good.
That's how.
Bappy, die. The glizzy.
I found the glizzy!
You found a
Oh
cooked
my God,
glizzy.
so jiggly?
His name's yeah! Let's
That's
touch
our
it.
Look,
Yeah!
look, they're sword
Okay.
fighting.
Okay, I think
They're sword fighting.
Does,
Here you go, honey.
does
That's
someone have
everything
something
that's
to heal, or should I die to get revived?
Here you go. I give you food.
Bappy, you should
Yeah,
just.
but no,
Your
that's
health-
the
your
problem
health
is I
is
need
good.
heal.
Oh, I don't
sh-
have I don't have healing. No.
I think I will just die to get revived because I really
Yeah,
need
there's
a lot
no
of
healing.
heal.
Bappy, you should just jump.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, that's some toxic behavior if I've ever seen one. But we saved
Bappy,
you.
you should take a swine dive.
No! No! No!
Yes, join
My
me.
boy!
Join me in the
My
lava.
boy! No!
Honey, no!
Buddy, what are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. All right.
With fire.
Is anyone else on the verge of death before I
No,
resurrect
you
you?
can revive us now. We're fine.
Hi, big fan.
We're good.
Oh!
What the?
Why? Run! No! Why me? Why me? Why? We're on good terms. No!
No, he's dead. No.
Are you fucking serious?
What the? No. Really? No.
He's dead for the whole night.
Fight himself.
Scoutmaster's still going.
Just
Man, whoever's he's
Oh,
killing
we need
is
to-
really
we need to go.
in bad situation.
We need
huh?
to go.
Okay, let's go.
We need to go. I saw.
I
him start
call so much bull. I did so well, damn
You
it.
did so well.
Yeah.
You never died until this
You
moment.
sacrifice
Poor
himself
guy.
for.
I literally resurrect my friend, and then immediately gets.
Yeah.
Because my mom knew how to. We did it back.
Welcome to
Hey,
the
thanks.
That's so
people that
cute,
got
Emmy.
fucked by one opening of a chest.
I really like it myself. I can definitely do difficult slower on your own. I
I
watch
say,
a lot of YouTube videos.
I
Yeah!
think I
Said
thank
you're doing
them.
too well.
I thank them for that because I am no longer blind. I can see.
Yay!
For I was blind and now I can see.
I got blind, and when the Scoutmaster respawned, I was not blind.
I can do this though.
Yeah.
A table.
I like the game said you were doing too well.
But that's as much as I
Yeah, it really did. This is what I get for leaving y'all behind the first round.
Yes.
It was like, I remember
You
you.
were very helpful.
We
I
will
don't agree
remember
with that,
those who have opened one chest.
I've yet to open a chest. I've been trying to open them, but I've not been having a chance to open one to get them.
Wait,
No, stay away from them, honey. Don't open a chest.
I like the skeleton T-posing for dominance while y'all are cooking over this
Yeah.
campfire. It's very funny.
Let's gather around the campfire and sing our favorite campfire song.
C-A-F-I-R-O-S-O-N-G song.
And if you don't think we can sing this faster, then you're wrong.
Can I say that?
In a long. C-A-F-I-R-O-S-O-N-G song. C-A-F-I-R-O-S-O-N-G song. Well, I guess now I could just play with Marble. Isn't that right? Aren't you happy? Are you happy I get to play with you and pet you? Good
What is
girl.
that? Oh, that's you.
It's well done.
Yeah,
Inside
huh?
the ground. I'm like, what is
Huh?
that?
What? Huh? It's me.
Parasol.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I was thinking you.
I am one with the moles. I am one with the moles. Ooh.
I explained your situation to my. How did you die?
Hi.
You sacrificed yourself. Or...
I'm here for ghostal support.
I'll get my
Yay!
It's like moral,
Sounds
but
like
more
postal
intangible.
support.
for Halloween.
How would
Yeah,
I
I'll pay
say
for your
that?
postage stamps.
Exactly.
Sorry, I gotta follow. I was distracted.
I'm lagging so hard.
Thank you. How
Wait,
would
where
I
are we
say
going?
your name? I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
Oh my god, let's pick, yeah, I will!
Oh, oh,
Don't tell
oh.
anyone that I'm crocheting something for Meow.
Yeah, I won't say a
You
word.
can go on top of it.
Don't tell him, it's a secret.
Who's Meowie?
That's my boyfriend.
Has my fucking volume been broken?
You're not allowed to have. Never mind.
I mean, I'm single. No.
Yeah.
There you go, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Just say it's a guy friend. Just keep it on. Just keep it on the deal.
He's my mod. He's my mod.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, he's wonderful.
So I've had no volume the entire stream.
Oh no.
Huh? I'm getting kind of irritated because it's like the fourth time it's happened and no one is telling me.
Wait, what's happening?
I cannot fully know that this is happening.
Wait, what's happening? Oh.
I usually check my
volume.
Yeah, it's our little secret. All.
Let me know if y'all are getting some kind of like motion sickness for me jumping around to different people.
As long
But
as
I
it's
like.
directly where we're
So much frame lag right now, it's crazy.
I know, it's very
Cool
sim.
for me.
I wish I could point so I could help y'all through shit.
You can ping.
Ghost can ping.
Oh, I can! Let's go! Yeah! All right.
I'm going in the dark. I'm going up the dark.
There is like nothing above you. This is a bold. This is not the play.
Oh, that was a mistake. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't go up there. I think you actually
Someone have a rope and a repos.
We need to go.
wanna go like
Okay.
that
Okay,
way.
guys,
I'm
my
trying to
purpose is
point.
to
It's
keep
not.
fire
It's
on
not
this
great.
one.
It's not. The pointing's not great. Let's see.
It's
Wh-
not.
Let's try over here.
To there. Yeah.
Ooh. Let's go to blue diamond. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Or 12 diamond. Okay.
Be careful of fire, rock, Bappi.
You're like the one person who shouldn't be.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah,
kind of.
but
I'm looking around to see if like a thing. I don't think that way y'all are going is a good way.
Oh no.
Okay. I think Eyes has the right idea here.
Over there. How did he get there? Oh wait, this wall here takes ages.
Yeah, that way I think is the right way. I'm in agreement.
Oh, I just jumped along.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
I don't
You're
know
ob-
if
you're
I-
obviously the brains of the
I don't think
operation.
that's a good idea. Like, I don't have time.
Just grab me, get ready. Oh, thank you.
Okay, go through. No. I think Ella has self.
Hi. Where's Ella?
No! 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 Hi!
Down here. Look at me.
Yeah, you'll join me in a second. It's cooler.
My hands just got sweaty. No.
Are they good?
So you might have lost a guy. Just saying.
Which one? Who? Why?
Well, you'll see in about a moment. Blue.
I fell. I'm coming back.
No.
It's not that far.
Okay, she's.
Oh.
Ella, you're not that far.
Am I close to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Ah! Thank you.
Y'all are fine. You're fine.
And then you go behind yourself.
Body
I
is
got
that?
scared. I used all my
Ghost.
stamina.
Sorry. Yeah,
Well?
look down there. It's a T-posing skeleton. Oh, we can't see it anymore.
Yeah, there was a
beginning.
T-posing skeleton when y'all
Yeah.
came in. Yeah.
I did see that guy. He was very funny.
Skeleton.
My way does work. It's just you might need to be.
It would be funny if I could possess skeletons as a ghost.
That
Oh,
would,
That
no.
would be funny.
that would be
That
so
would be
It would be
scary.
funny if we possess skeletons and then we had to hunt these
Oh.
guys down.
Ooh.
Can we not?
We're like climbing too, and whoever climbs better.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You guys jumping from person to person. I
Wait,
think
where
might
are we
cause
burning?
lag. I'm lagging all of a sudden.
I haven't moved in a while.
I'm just staying it. Yeah, same.
Something
I think it's
happened.
just.
Hold on.
I think it's just the.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm okay.
Because I'm
I think
lagging
it's
that too.
because
I
there's
think
more
it's been a
particles,
while.
maybe?
You've been lagging all day. I know, the mods make it difficult.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's the right way. Is it?
I only lagged. I only lagged in the desert area. Everywhere else, I was fine.
I've lagged a couple times.
Yeah, I've been lagging the entire time.
No, I've been like, even on my 3080, I was like,
Thank you.
stuttering.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I also have 3080.
Yeah, do you want to risk it for the?
If I die, so I'm just not opening the chest.
Straight ahead.
I literally have so much stamina, so if anyone makes it up, it'll be. Yeah,
I think these days
Yeah,
tornado
I think
things
we're
that
kind of at a point. It's just climb.
Just
Okay.
climb
It's
forehead.
not worth it opening chat.
Do it anyway. Do it anyway,
Bappi.
Bappi. Do it anyway. Do it. Open it. Open
Just stay
the
away.
chest.
Stay away
Open
from
the
the
chest. Open it.
Kenny of this run who just
Hatsune Miku. What?
I got Miku!
What does it do?
Like Bing Bong.
Nothing.
like Bing
It's
Bong.
just. It's like Bing Bong, but you don't speak.
Oh, you're about to fall, buddy.
If anything, honestly, Hatsune Miku should speak. Just saying.
Hi.
I have just have Miku. I can. Yeah. That's fast enough. That's all.
I forgot
There's
you-
another one here.
Oh, that's definitely a better way.
I cannot do want a tornado that spawn here. Not can I?
Oh my god, through the walls. I can't get us.
You guys got this. I believe in you.
We're getting
Woo.
there. I don't want to open that chest though.
I would suggest.
I'm a ghost, so I have to speak
As
like a
much as
ghost.
I-
It's true.
I'm not going to.
By law.
Really walking over it.
Try and meet you there. Keep going.
Someone do
Bobby
it.
can open.
Can you
Bobby.
see me?
Open.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Open
He's
it.
the only one
I mean,
who-
the last
Open
person-
it. Open. Open. That's fine.
Okay.
You know what you must do, Bappi. Open the chest. Open the chest, Bappi. Yes.
Miku
Yes.
with me.
Hatsune Miku would have done it.
He's right.
Mom!
It's
Oh,
dynamite. It's dynamite. Yeah.
and look at that. Totally worth it. You even got a
It's
little.
fine. I have
Yeah.
the tongue.
See? Look at that. Easy.
It's worth it. I almost died, but it was worth it.
Fortune favors the bold. The bold,
Where are you
Bappi.
going?
Fortune favors the bold.
She's going up.
Oh yeah.
Correctly.
Alpine's the worst.
I just like being just a little devil on everyone's shoulder after I die. Do it.
Oh, maybe I can use this. Not wait.
It's a bit of a ways, but it does flatten out eventually.
Yeah. It does flatten out at the top. I think Double made it.
Oh.
Oh.
Yep, no.
Double.
The baton. The
Oh,
baton.
use that, yeah.
Good job.
Okay, just go one by one.
Honestly, the fire boulder might be the move, but
Yeah.
it's after the baton that I'm like,
I think I have to go there.
Oh yeah. There's a ledge up top, and then you guys can climb it from there.
I see it.
if you keep on going right, there's a couple more ledges. Oh, never mind. Y'all are good.
Wait, I need a hand. Oh, please. Oh, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, Ella. So to your Bappi, your left. Bappi, your left.
Oh no! Oh no, Bappi!
Bappi, your left.
Okay, sorry.
Ella,
You say
you
I left, and I
you
was-
left a man
I
to
dropped my
die.
mind, but
You
it's
left
fine.
a man to die. I saw it. I saw you
No.
leave them.
What did I do?
You started
climbing.
Someone was literally behind you, not almost over the edge, and you kept climbing.
No. Bappi
I
was
s-
there. Bappi was taking care of all of
I
us.
saw you what you
Bappi,
did.
at the
I
last
saw
second.
what you did.
Where do we go now? Okay, we go here.
I think we just go across.
No, we go
Yeah,
up there.
marble. Hey. Do you not like me being
Oh,
the
yeah.
voice of revenge and
Okay,
guilt
that's out. I don't think everyone will make
and
it.
just in general bad ideas?
My precious.
The echo is very old.
I find it very
Why is
amusing,
Ranikki going the way-
personally.
It's very
I love to your
loud.
left.
Lots of talking.
It is very loud.
Yeah, it's why I've been trying to be quiet so I don't add to it.
Oh no!
Oh,
I'm Miku with me.
Protect me!
Drop Miku.
No! No!
I wasn't here to protect you, Bappi. I wasn't here to protect you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bappi. No. Join me. Join me, Bappi. Join me.
Maybe
I
I
don't.
did not die. Wait.
I don't know what he's doing. I think he's kind
I
of.
don't know.
He's kind of stuck in a loop right now. Yeah, he's kind of.
Yeah, maybe I'm not dead.
Forever being swung around.
Yeah, I guess just everyone keep going and then let Bappi just have this.
Yeah.
He is just kind of jumping around.
Yeah, I guess just leave him he's kind of dancing with the devil currently. So I think
He's kind of like throwing it back.
yeah, he's kind of throwing it back for Bony Man over there. So just keep going.
He survived it!
He lived?
I'm alive.
Did that feel good? Did you like that?
Wait, what?
Actually impressive.
Did he like straighten your back?
Did someone stole me cool?
How?
No?
How did you survive that?
You were just holding nothing.
I don't know. I'm just too good.
Wait, why do you?
There was bees, so I have 40 poisons.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had bees. you had him.
I'm just and they left without me. No? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, where's Hatsune Miku, by the way?
Hello, friends. Did you all left without me?
I mean, they thought you were dead. I also would have also left you.
That's mean. Oh, did I go?
You should have died.
No. I'm just. I see something here. Very interesting.
Bappi is alive, by the way, so y'all might need to help him up.
We got our chest tester.
Yeah, I'm alive. If you can help me.
I let them know that you're alive.
Yeah, me too. I was like, guys, he's still alive. Ledge to your right.
Oh, hold up.
I'm not sure that's a. Like, I'm so close.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Hello.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. What's the worst that can happen? You already saw it. Yeah.
Oh no!
Caldera kill! It's
It was a firestorm. Oh. That is. You did light the entire wall on fire.
Oh my god.
That's really funny.
Vertical space.
Look at what you did. Look at that. Look the mess you've made.
I'm alive. That's the most important thing. Oh!
Open it. Open it with everyone else nearby.
Wait before he opens this one.
I'm out.
I'm actually gonna get away from you.
Get away from
Why is everyone leaving?
Open
I don't
it.
understand.
Open it.
Aelarion so fast. A harpoon and a bandage.
Oh! I got a bandage. Does someone need you?
Bandage and a is that rope cannon? Damn.
Bandage and a rope launcher.
Yeah.
We should go over here.
So, you see, opening luggage is so OP.
Oh. Okay.
Until he died. Hey, there's a skeleton.
Until I die. Exactly.
I'm gonna use this for us.
Actually, yeah, with the rope we make that.
Because then that way we don't have to touch the fire.
Bye bye, Captain.
That was very smart.
He has another
Time. Sleep well.
That's a very good rope, and I can see a way up from
Do you know about the? I think no, I actually said it, but I was bullying someone with the bits to introduce effects, and I kept them.
Those one of you are
spawning them up top to random locations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very.
Dark or do you have food?
No.
Okay.
I have a lollipop, but that's about it.
If either one of us
Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, lolly.
The only one who has food is Ella.
I do in my backpack.
Oh, wait.
Hi Ella, do you see me?
Hi. I'm coming.
What?
I have it in my backpack. Do you need the
No,
lollipop?
I came
This side.
Here.
Ranikki, how do you have so much extra energy?
Oh, that's a repop. Okay. Oh, I thought it was. Wait, I will put it back because I thought it was like normal food. It's a lollipop. So just.
hunger.
I will not take it
Oh,
for
I
now.
have my marshmallow. Do you want that?
Oh, I do want to make my things. Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't know if we
I have a
did.
bandage if someone did.
Oh, your friend?
Y'all got this.
I don't think
If I
it's
die, it's over.
Yeah, I
Okay,
would like to pretend. He's going to pay.
I said
She's
if I
going to
die,
pay.
it's over.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, rope cannon. Rope cannon.
Energy drink.
Webcam. Yeah, no,
Oh.
Jack. Okay, do
Oh no,
we need?
we're
Okay,
okay.
maybe.
We're okay. We don't need it yet.
Maybe we don't. Okay.
Well, oh.
Oh shit, okay, Ella, I wish you could have gotten me the rope spool. Because then I could have been able to...
Oh wait, I will throw you that. Okay, are you going to catch? Okay, I have a rope.
Oh, I do. Oh, I
Dark,
didn't realize.
Dark, catch.
Help Ranikki, help
Catch Dark.
No, don't do
Yeah.
it. Oh gosh.
Okay, you ready to catch?
We're fine, I think.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh no! No!
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I guess you're joining Dark down in the depths below. Join us. Join us.
I just witnessed my friends die.
Okay,
I'm
who
sorry,
killed
my
Ella?
friends.
Ella missed the jump, I think.
Yes,
I'm gonna
we saw that.
haunt you for the rest of your days.
You told me it was okay.
I am
That-
gonna make sure every like 3.5 hours you hear.
I'm sorry.
I fully believe you. I fully believe you. Bappi would do that.
I can't.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm sorry.
Pushed me off.
No, I did not.
Bappi pushed me and Dark. Shoved us.
No.
Wow. Are you saying it's an inside job?
Okay, I think we can go.
Dark,
We have to
you
go
do
there.
this.
I don't know.
He did this to us.
Wait, where are we going?
Can we get an
Oh,
instant
okay.
replay on that, please?
What do you think I'm doing?
Oh
From what I saw, Dark, it's like the rope hit Dark right when he caught it, so he went unconscious. That's what.
I had it in my inventory.
no.
That's
Oh
what.
my god.
It's probably
Maliki, I will need help for that.
the two clients for merging.
Lunch.
They
Ooh,
caught it,
ooh,
but it's
Okay,
not
thank you.
I have the one mod that actually worked killed me.
What mod that was?
Yeah,
No,
I think you got knocked out by the item.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure. What do you mean, uh-oh?
Were you killed?
I thought you were about to die.
No, I was.
Don't be saying
I will.
anything.
Oh, why?
Put that omen on you.
No, you got this. You got
You
this.
guys got this.
Where do
You
we?
can do it.
Where do we go from here?
Up.
I think we go there.
Now the scallywag comes.
Yeah,
Oh.
the way Ranikki's going.
Okay.
Huh?
Oh, the lag! The lag!
You got it.
Okay.
I believe y'all. I believe
I'm
y'all.
going to survive this lag if it's the last thing I do.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
You got this.
Ella, just so you know, for the one I killed, do I will get it? Yes. Will I do it again?
We will
Yes.
make the
All I'm saying
Yes.
is they're
No
conspiring
surprise.
against you. Run, guys, run.
Alright, perfect.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh, no.
they're coming up with something.
Dark's mad at me because he thinks I pushed him. I didn't. I
No.
didn't push him, promise.
I think the rope stunned him when he catched him.
Yeah,
When
I
he catched
think
it.
that's what happened. I think
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, but then what happened
Also,
to
there's a
Ella?
skeleton there, so this guy almost made it, but he died.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if he stopped. No, he might have
Oh,
got
yeah,
eaten.
yeah.
He might have got eaten
Yeah.
by a friend.
Possibly.
How can
Yeah,
you
there's
die here? Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's escaping without you guys.
No!
Get up there, hurry!
And I eat the lollipop.
Run!
Eat the lollipop.
Run! Run!
Y'all better run, bitch.
Yo, run! Run!
Oh, eyes, it's so mean.
They'll
Run!
make it on.
Bappi
They
makes
made
it,
it to
I
the
think.
peak.
The cutoff screen is really funny. That was very funny.
Yay!
Yay!
Good
Good job, all
Good job.
everyone.
I couldn't leave them.
Good job, everyone.
Your friends left you to die.
Yeah, that's pretty much mine, Dead.
Alright, let's see Bappi's line. I don't have a line. Okay, the mod's broken.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at that
that's
green, dude.
That's dark.
Oh, there's
Oh
me.
my
Yeah, that's dark dying. Look at how far ahead I was of you guys.
I know.
Can
Oh,
I see?
And then I
I need to go into someone else's chat to see the.
You can see it in mine. You can see it in mine.
Don't worry me. New
Oh,
hat.
we need to view. Anyone
Oh,
got 2 viewers?
and we
I'll
saw-
join into yours.
What is this? Oh, it's eyeballs.
Any friends got 2 viewers?
Oh my god.
Ranikki and Bappi are joined. I'll join Bappi.
I got a hat.
Alright, Bappi, I'm paying you in 1 advertisement. And I don't
What?
Never mind.
I clicked it. I clicked it, honey.
That was so funny. You poor thing. We did it!
Did I control-
Good job, everybody. Hush.
Yeah.
Don't oru. Don't oru.
Alright, let me double check.
I know you just want to say hi to Twitch.
Fork, fork, fork.
I will close that door. I will. Don't tempt me.
2.5 hours, dang.
Fork,
After
fork,
my
fork.
god.
Bappi
Oh
went through
god,
all
oh
that,
god,
he
hi.
had-
All right.
Very
Get out.
tight
Oh.
elevator.
Oh, we.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Oh,
Push.
Don't push. Oh.
Hello.
Let me out. I hate it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Dark. Like I was saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I
wanna see
did
the
that.
fist fight.
But I will do it again if I need to.
Again.
If my clip reaches 200 views, I'll forgive you.
Oh, I will need to
Wait,
to
could
sorry.
I ask one last
My
request
clip.
of you
I
guys?
think my clip is funny. It's funnier because I see you, I kill you, and then there is Ella that jump in and fall down.
I have one last request of everyone before we wrap up. Follow me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we taking
we
photo
dancing
booth
now?
pictures?
Sometimes things are supposed to be a surprise.
Oh, hold
Oh
on.
my
I need
god,
I need to
crap.
switch my
I thought
eyes.
people recognized it because it was right next to it. We were standing right next to it the
Okay,
whole
back-
time.
Back up! Back up!
So people need to crouch. People need to crouch.
Crouch,
People
crouch,
in the
crouch,
front need to
right.
crouch.
This is
Here we go.
fucking
Oh, we don't
raw,
see the head. Wait, I'm going inside.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, there's someone we don't see behind. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah!
wait.
I didn't get to jump.
Yay!
Oh, they look so cool.
Okay, one more.
Oh, I
wait,
missed it.
emotes. I need to do some emotes. Do some emotes.
There it is. Yo, jumped on me.
Alright, I'm out.
The third one.
Good job.
The
good
third
job.
one was just me.
Don't mind
I know,
that.
was
Don't
so
mind what I
funny.
typed.
Yay! Thank you guys.
Thank you.
What kind of cursed?
Don't worry about that. That was me thanking the skeleton man for killing me earlier.
That
Ah,
that
that's what it
was my 14th time making it to the top.
Good job.
Hell yeah.
Stop
I don't remember if I actually have or not,
Oh,
but
it
we'll
didn't
see.
count.
If you hit escape, go to chords. It says peak summited, and then it tells you a number.
Peak summon. Oh, 0. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Four.
That would have been the first if it wasn't for the skeleton man out of the statue.
Step rope.
And it's like you at least got the achievement for the
For people leaving without it.
Participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to get unstuck?
Huh? It's not. It's not real. It's a prop.
Why won't this work?
Are we not stuck anymore?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
No, I'm still
I got some
That's
clips
okay.
if
We're
you
gonna
want
wrap
to
up
make
here.
That was a double. That's crazy.
All I need is like.
You missed.
Thank you for having us, Ella.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you. guys all
you.
so much for collabing.
Thank you.
No, thank you for setting this up.
Y'all the greatest.
Don't-
We'll have to do
I
it
don't
again.
feel so
You.
No, oh no.
Yeah, that was fun.
No.
But I hope
Oh,
well,
I'm stuck.
I know I'm collabing
I got
with a
stuck
few
too.
of you
No.
tomorrow, so I'm very
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Excited.
See you
very
tomorrow.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kick y'all out of lobby, and then I'll see you
I'll
guys
kick
next
you.
week, and then we'll say bye.
Yeah.
You can't kick me.
Oh.
I can't.
Damn.
She
Oh.
just left.
Yeah, yeah, no.
I
She
can't-
left and,
I
and we are still here.
literally
Yeah, we're still
can't
here.
predict, it's not-
We could do whatever we want. We could do whatever we want while we're in
no.
here.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck, step bro.
Oh no, no, no! I got you.
Oh,
no, no! I'll unstuck you. I'll unstuck you. No, no. Well, thank y'all for coming. It was wonderful having you. Oh, hold on. Let's do we undo on Discord? I think we're also not. Hey, hush. Hush. Shush. Hey, oh, are you also saying goodbye to everybody? Marble also says goodbye to everybody. So thank you all for being here today. It was wonderful having you. This was a lot of fun. And I look forward to another collab tomorrow with a whole bunch of people for... Hush. Hush. There we go. Can't have my exit. Anyway. Yes, thank you all for being here. We're going to do a repo stream tomorrow, so look forward to that. And thank you all for supporting the donation stuff. It means a lot to me. It's something that I definitely want to continue doing for the years to come as I continue doing this. So I hope all of you have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, and I will see y'all tomorrow for more collab stuff. All right, have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.